Hello, I am the Great Wizard Malan, and we are finally back doing some more Pathfinder 2nd Edition playtest.
You almost got
All
it,
the
buddy.
P's.
Use your big boy words.
Yeah.
I know words.
Enunciate and pronounce.
And pronounce. Okay, got to use the p. Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway,
don't spray it.
Anyway.
So we already have done the initial Pathfinder run, which was for one segment. We did first level characters. Now we've gone on to the next segment, which we then gen 4th level characters, which we have done. So if it's anything like the last one, then it'll probably take a couple of sessions, but you never know. We'll see. And then after this one, then we'll be on to 8th level characters, was it?
7th, I believe. But we would either have to extend by a session, possibly 2, to do the next point.
Oh yeah,
or
that's fine.
Stop after we do this one, just because it either extends or potentially shortens. But it depends on how long it takes.
We're either going to run over or under.
Over or under?
There, isn't it?
Yeah, that's item level. Can't have anything that high.
Yeah, no, I wasn't looking at that.
A couple of last minute things going on, just for a couple of bits for last minute character bits.
Yeah, because in the first one we didn't have to worry so much about like magical items and such things like that. But now we do.
Yeah, so the playtest has a specific set of guidelines for each set of characters, each gen you do, each level up for the main characters. There's specific guidelines for doing these level ups and sorting these characters out. And they're tailored to help Paizo look at sort of how things go, what people pick, what's broken, what's not, what does work, what doesn't work. We've already established we're not big fans of the way resonance works because we made a minor cock-up in that to use potions you need to spend resonance points. We weren't aware of that beforehand, so we will be doing that from now on. But it's something that we already collectively as a group really don't like.
There. I
Oh,
haven't actually done mine.
Oh, okay.
So, for another thing for tonight,
Dan, hello.
is if possible, because otherwise it ends up breaking the flow and takes up quite a while. Please don't answer every comment as it comes up.
Okay.
So I'd quite like for you to try and keep it to sort of small sections here and there. If there's a natural break.
Okay.
Just because otherwise it sort of breaks up the flow and we end up. Going off on a tangent for too long. Okay. And we get less done that way.
Okay, alright, that's cool.
So, apologies, we're not ignoring people, but it's in the interest of us actually playing the game.
So, Cassis is ignoring people.
Yeah, screw you all. So, last time, a couple of weeks back, if anyone remembers that far, last time, the new group of adventurers was gathered together and they were sent down into an ossuary. Which was home to some goblins and a hobgoblin who had been rallying them together to steal and do nefarious things. The party managed to recover the item that they were sent for, along with a very mysterious book. This book was called Notes on the Last Theorem, which was also in a language none of them could read. After they came back with these bits and pieces, they were told, after Kellery, the woman who sent them in, Kellery Deverin, they were told that the book contained information on essentially bad things. Potentially the end of the world by the looks of things. A little bit of further information. So, the Notes on the Last Theorem was a leather-bound journal written in Aklo. The book, after time to study, the book once belonged to the Chelish diplomat Nessarian. He was a man who recently abandoned duty.
Sorry, what's Chelish? Is that like a place?
Yeah, it's a nationality. Chelish is his nationality. I can't remember where exactly that's from in the world.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt your flow before you kept going.
No, of course. But he was a Chelish diplomat, and he recently abandoned his duties in Magnamar, which is the city you started in. And he abandoned his duties and went missing. There were rumours flying around that this Nessarian travelled to Assyrian to chase legends of hidden treasures in the Desert Sands. There are a few bits and pieces, but the book is said to contain exhaustive information. The Last Theorem itself. This is just notes on that book. The book is said to contain exhaustive information on the sinister aliens of the Dominion of the Black. And in particular, a number of hints towards an upcoming invasion of Galarian, which is the world at large, by these horrific monsters. The Last Theorem itself, the real book, is said to contain magical formulas, equations and incantations capable of affecting the physical world and making ready the world for its new Dominion rulers. Much of the book seems to be concerned with an upcoming doomsday, but there's no clues in the notes on the Last Theorem to indicate the actual date that this supposed doomsday is meant to happen. The book also actually clarifies that Nessarian was much more than just a Chelish diplomat. It irrefutably proves that he had ties to a nefarious secret society of Dominion cultists known as the Night Heralds.
Which night, by the way? Sorry.
Sorry?
Which
Night
night?
as in night time.
Kniggets.
No, night
I
time.
know, I'm being annoying.
Okay, got it.
Not Kinnigan.
But yeah, the book doesn't actually go into further details about the Night Heralds themselves, however.
I, for one, welcome our new overlords.
I'm willing to round up others to work in their underground sugar caves.
Yeah, is anyone getting the same sort of feel that when we had to get the book from, Black Crusade?
Yeah.
So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys a couple of moments very quickly to each introduce your character. The beginning of this section assumes that all of these characters are already a pre-established adventuring group. So whatever the backstory is, it's not going to have much impact on the campaign itself, but they do already know each other. They are pre-established friends and adventurers.
So, who wants to go first?
Well,
Your channel.
Here we go.
So, channel, you first.
So, I'm going to be playing a gnome wizard called Garrick.
Boo.
Boo?
Yep.
Racism.
Just boo. Not to the character, just boo to you.
Boo. Yeah, so I picked, one of the ancestry feats which gives me a little familiar, which I've got a vole called Bruce. He's going to be fun. I'm going to be a transmutation wizard. Why?
Why Bruce?
Because
Why
I wanted something
Because
big.
it's a butch vole, alright?
Bruce.
Squeak! Yeah, he can talk common. So, yeah.
God.
He will be able to talk back to you. Which obviously you'll know this.
Meg.
I'm not doing the voice, you can do that yourself.
That's fine. But yeah, so I'm a transmutation wizard, so I have got some offensive capabilities, but I've got other, other bits and pieces.
Transmutation.
Do other,
What are you going to do? Hit me with that fish?
Invisible projectile.
That's
But
a
yeah.
true element of culture.
So I do carry a crossbow, but obviously I'm not that combat orientated. Spells. I'm going to stay the fuck away. As you do. I do have some other interesting skills, but we'll get to that, in game.
Stop talking.
Yes.
We'll carry on round.
I'm Boom. I'm a goblin terrorist alchemist. I'm looking for my brother Boom. Our parents were not imaginative in their names.
Slightly different spelling, for a little bit of history on the name. If anyone's played Borderlands 2...
I cheated. Yep, that's pretty much all I need to say right now.
Okay. Lucy, who's off camera?
I'm playing a 125-year-old elf called Elfner. I have an animal companion, which is a medium-sized wolf. Her name is Lupa. And
Lupus.
Lupa.
Lupus.
She is all black, apart from she's got white fur on her nose.
Oh, nice to meet you.
What's that? Moustache.
Moustache.
I'm not showing favouritism, but the definite survivor of this section will be the wolf.
Okay, my character is a half-orc rogue called Johann Cuthbert. Not a very orky name, but he got given that from the orphanage that he grew up in. His orc name, when he uses it, is Grak.
Your Christian name is Johann.
Yes, yeah. Johann's my slave name. My real name's Grak.
Rise up against the oppressors.
Okay, so I'm playing Kiara. She's a 150-year-old elven druid, a follower of Gosray. And
that's fine.
my animal companion is a velociraptor called Bitey.
Bitey.
How big is your velociraptor? Is he medium?
I believe he's
Or small?
medium.
I think he's at least medium.
Yeah, medium.
Yeah, because I would assume that they grow up to large, don't they?
Oh, they can do.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
So
otherwise,
it's got a human-sized velociraptor.
Yeah. So any small character,
Raptors aren't that big.
any
True.
small character
Long.
can ride it.
I
Um,
ride.
Are
because
you small?
No.
There we go
whether
then.
it's thematic or it's actually something that you should have in the setting is irrelevant. The book has the rules on it, and it doesn't say you can't.
Yes.
So I made
So-
a velociraptor.
My hands were tied. But it's cool. Yeah, velociraptors are awesome.
He said follow the rules, so I did.
So Ains all down.
I think you find that's Einzel Gone. That's
Oh,
yeah.
of course,
Overlord. Yeah, it's Overlord.
of course it is. Anyway,
Sorry.
hello and
Anime
welcome.
knowledge.
You should have let him struggle. That was far funnier.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was way funnier.
That's why I waited until he said the whole name.
I'm sorry, I've only seen a bit of Overlord.
Yeah, well, you.
Okay,
Then
good.
it's just a disappointment.
No.
So, when this one begins, you have been summoned to a meeting in the trade town of Kelmarain in the nation of Katapesh. Think sort of desertish nation.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Overrun years ago by bandits, gnolls and slavers, the town spent most of its recent history in ruins. Within the last year, the town was reclaimed by adventurers and is now well on its way to seizing its original mantle as a prosperous trading post. While several buildings in town remain in ruins, numerous work crews toil at repairing the major structures, while canvas roofs on smaller buildings provide temporary lodgings. It's in one of the larger buildings, an ancient church, that you've been hired to meet with a representative of the Esoteric Order of the Palatine Eye, Lady Camisora Vord. You may remember that the Esoteric Order of the Palatine Eye is the one that Kellery Deverin was a part of, and that the previous characters, the ones that are your main ones throughout the Pathfinder second campaign, joined that order at the end. So, Lady Vord offered an enticing sum of 45 gold pieces for each of you, along with the promise of great treasures to be found on the journey. That's bump. So, your previous exploits as a group, being level 4 and a previously existing group, are what brought you all to the attention of Lady Ward. Her mysterious invitation and offer of a healthy payment have drawn you to this mission. Lady Camisora Vord hails from Ustalav, where the Esoteric Order of the Palatine Eye is based. Camadus Gatea,
Gesundheit.
a low-ranking member of the organisation and Vord's assistant, stands at attention near the door to invite in or repel visitors. When you arrive, he stops you at the door. What's your business here, then?
We were summoned, Weavers.
Was you?
Ye.
Yeah, right, okay then.
We're here to find some things for the person. I was paying attention. I was making bombs.
Written down her name.
We are here on urgent business, says the gnome.
So says the other gnome.
You might have a bit more information if it's urgent then. Camisora Vord is the lady.
I don't have a very good Christmas score, but
Camisar send us.
Right, okay. Okay, so the young man steps aside and gestures towards the descending stairwell in the centre of the room behind you. Clearing his throat, he loudly proclaims, "You enter the distinguished presence of Lady Camisora Vord, First Throne of the Esoteric Order of the Palatine Eye. My lady, your mercenaries have arrived." A bemused voice echoes out from the stairwell. "Commodus, I might remind you, we are meant to be a secret society. Perhaps next time you might refrain from speaking our name in front of every common labourer. Send one new arrivals down to meet me, if you please." So, he shows you down to the room, and Lady Vord is sitting on a small stool. Her posture refined despite her surroundings. Her features are stern, and she keeps her black hair streaked with strands of grey pulled back into a long braid. Despite the heat, she wears an embroidered black gown. An expensive lantern rests on the floor near her, illuminating a door that appears to have been barred once. A metal lines and strange patterns. Lady Vord is in the process of copying those runes into a journal emblazoned with a gold scarab beetle with a single eye upon its back. As you arrive, she sets the journal down and rises to meet you, speaking in a heavy Ustalavic accent. I apologise, it may be a really bad Russian.
I like the
No,
accent.
it's fine.
Keep going.
Russia has deserts.
The Order appreciates your presence here today. I trust the figure in my summons was sufficient to secure your services. I have been studying with great interest a report from one of our agents, a Magnum Marian named Kaleri Deverin, regarding an object of interest. We have reason to believe a treasure of particular import lies under Pale Mountain, just because in an ancient complex called the Tomb of Tular Seft. I had been planning an attempt to retrieve it for some time, but I've received word that dangerous cultists called the Night Heralds seek this treasure as well, and have sent forces to retrieve it. Hence, I have secured your services rather than waiting for the order to arrive. Fortunately, we have an advantage they do not. The majority of the Tomb of Tular Seft is a labyrinth that, while compact, is difficult to navigate and is rumoured to be filled with traps and beasts. Kellery's research, though, reveals a back entrance to the tomb hidden in the lower slopes of the Pale Mountain. This entrance is said to appear as a blank stone within a scar across the mountain. With luck, you can reach the tomb and secure the treasure before the Night Heralds can even enter the complex. Camerus has prepared the map of the route. The object I require is a large gemstone with series of shifting hieroglyphs glowing within it. If you can read the hieroglyphs, you will note they represent a number that appears to be counting down. Kellery's text refers to this gemstone as a countdown clock. But other than the rumours of it being in Tular Seft's tomb, we know little about its specific location within. All other treasures you find within the tomb are yours to keep, although the Order may wish to purchase any such items vital to our efforts at an especially fair price. If you have any questions...
Who is Tular Seft?
Okay.
You said that is the name of the place we are going.
Who was it?
Does that, that is it is there too. So who is he or she?
So,
Who was that?
I apologise.
Yeah.
So, in the interest of expediting this slightly and not fucking up every other word I say, the tomb is of Tular Seft, a scholar of the elemental planes, realms of the air, earth, fire, and water. More than that, we don't actually know, but the object of our interest itself has no elemental properties, so why an elemental scholar would keep it, I cannot say.
Anyone?
Any other questions?
Okay.
Are our expenses covered?
You've been offered pay already,
Been paid.
and as I said, once this is complete, any treasures you find other than the clock are yours to keep.
Yeah, good
But
enough.
we are willing to pay for anything that is vital to our efforts.
Gotcha.
You say the Night Heralds know about this place. Is there anyone else that could know?
Not as far as we're aware. Both the Esoteric Order and the Night Heralds are secret organisations.
So are we to assume then that anyone else who's looking into this is an enemy?
I would say so, yes.
Makes it simple.
I know we were not one to eavesdrop, but you were referred to as the first level or first lady of the Order of the Palatine Eye.
Yes, the first throne. I am in charge around here, which means I'm the first throne of the area.
You've called yourself a secret order and the Night Heralds of the other secret order.
Mm-hmm.
What pits you against one another? Why are you...
So, the Heralds worship horrid things from beyond the stars and seek to bring these monsters to our world. The specifics of their mission are unknown to me, but I do know that they flee from the enlightened path and see only destruction in our future.
So they want to destroy everything and you want to savour it.
Essentially, yes. We in the Esoteric Order of the Palatini seek to awaken our inner divinity with knowledge and self-awareness. We also collect treasures pertinent to this mission, or in cases like this one in particular, we seek to keep dangerous treasures out of the hands of those who would commit great offences if they had them.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Yeah. Is there anything else that we need to be aware of en route? As in any particularly dangerous areas, any strange goings on?
If anyone has knowledge or nature in this regard, or society, please roll.
I got nature. I also got law underworld.
Yes. I'll go society because that's higher.
Hey! Society
Wait,
would be
also
more
society.
appropriate.
Yeah, no, it's got nature.
22 on society.
Okay.
24 on society.
Okay.
Yes, society. Yeah.
13 on nature.
What's going on? Hang on, I'm going to think about it.
25 on nature.
Okay. So, anyone who got above an 18 on any of the relevant things that I've asked for, there is in the area of recent times something known as the Carrion King, which is a Gnoll King of sorts, which other Pathfinder players or people who are particularly tied to the Pathfinder setting as a whole might know that there's something called the Howl of the Carrion King, which is another Pathfinder campaign. This is the area in which that takes place, around the time at which that takes place.
Oh.
Not specifically where you're going, but around the area. It's known that the Carrion King has been gathering Gnoll tribes to him. It's something it's not a massive secret, but it is something that is sort of around rumours, hearsay.
Whispered of in hushed tones.
Exactly, yeah.
Can I roll animal law to figure out more about the Gnoll?
You'll know the basics. They're dog creatures. They hunt. They're very tribal in nature.
I meant more their weaknesses, their strengths.
Explosions hit them really hard.
Yes, that generally works.
Specific strengths and weaknesses. I won't make you roll. Specific strengths and weaknesses. They tend to be a little bit like a lot of the more civilized folk, in that it tends to more be their specialization as an individual that tends to give them specific strengths or weaknesses. As a particular race, they don't have a weakness or strength more than, say, a goblin or a dwarf or an elf might.
Okay.
But yes, so if you have no more questions,
I believe we are informed enough.
I would like to be more informed in the area that we're going to. The climate we have here is very hot.
Yeah,
The place that you've called is the Pale Mountain. Is this because it's cold? It is white? It is...
So the Pale Mountain,
Question.
it is a volcanic mountain in the Brazen Peaks near the border with Assyria. Pale Mountain stands above its nearby fellows and is occupied by many, many dangerous creatures. There are gnolls around the area.
So, sorry, I got
It's a
volcanic
volcanic
mountain and gnolls.
So a volcano.
Yeah, it's a volcanic.
Is it active?
It's not an active volcano as such, but it is a volcanic mountain.
It likes to watch daytime TV.
And the entrance was it on a blank stone or a black stone with a scar on the mountain?
Yeah,
is
so
it
there's
blank or black?
it's said to appear as a blank stone within a scar across the mountain. There is a map functionally all the way to the back entrance of the tomb.
So a crack on the side of the mountain.
Roughly how much time will we be saving by going through this way rather than going through the main labyrinth
We'll have
itself?
to deal with the traps.
I couldn't say specifically. However, I know that there is a limited amount of time because the Night Heralds are going there as well.
So they're going there now, or are they currently there? Because if they're there, they've got more time to get in, which means we may have to deal with
I
them.
believe they're going to be heading there.
they're heading there.
I don't believe
So they're currently
they-
at the same level as we are. We are
our
going to be heading there.
Our sources would suggest you have somewhere in the region of 9 days.
9 days head start. Okay, we may come across some of them. You never know how quickly some will get through the
The
maze.
journey to the base of Pale Mountain itself, it's roughly 80 miles.
Okay.
One last question. The Night Heralds, do they have any symbols that identify them?
I don't have any record of them, unfortunately.
That's fine, but thank it's worth knowing.
Listen, it's clever. She asks good questions.
We have just
She
a moment
does.
in
I'm
between.
quite good at
We all
listening.
introduced our characters, but none of us said how we knew one another. Just very quickly, sorry, because we didn't do that. So I'm I'm a ranger. You're an alchemist. You're
Wizard.
wizard,
Druid.
rogue, druid. So I'm guessing that this continent is not where we're from.
Probably not, no.
Or so are we from Magma?
Sure.
Yeah.
The likelihood of you being from Magmar is probably quite low.
I
Okay.
wouldn't.
I don't know the world very well.
No, that's fine. You're probably more likely to be from areas near Katapesh. I'd say, given that each continent probably has quite a lot of travel time between them and such, you're probably more likely to be local, at least for the main majority of your living life.
Whoa, should we be doing the accent then?
No.
No.
Not everyone would necessarily have accents.
I lived in the middle of the forest. I don't adopt an accent.
And anyway, I'm a gnome. I've trained my voice to be posh.
Yeah, I didn't usually deal with people until I found you guys.
I
So.
changed myself to suit my surroundings.
Okay. So we had
We're goblins
orphanage,
from
grew up
Springer.
in a forest, trained himself to be posh.
Yeah. I wanted to find better things to blow up.
Okay.
Or better ways of making things to blow up.
True. Sounds like most alchemists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you saying all us terrorist alchemists are insane?
We met because you probably tried to blow up my forest, and I probably tried to kill you for it.
Or maybe because he's good at
Not probably, and definitely.
Or maybe I want him to help me blow my way into a safe.
I was only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
I told you what was inside was flammable.
It was a mistake.
Wait. I'm lawful good. I'm just going to look at the rogue and the alchemists. I say that, by the way.
Chaotic neutral.
Flat neutral.
Lawful neutral.
Yeah. I'm quite fan of my alignment. Yeah, it'll be chaotic something because I don't have much respect for the for the law and things.
Yeah!
Oh
I'm
shit.
flat
Lu-
neutral because the laws of most people don't abide to me because I live in the forest for my entire
So
life.
Lucy's going to be our moral compass.
Wonderful. I just wanted to do that before we can go onwards.
Yeah, fine.
Okay, so just for what I've got so far, I've got Order of Palatini, Lady Kimsuria Vor.
Camisora.
Compass who's
The
that?
Order want to seek to awaken the inner eye and treasure, as I got from fast talking. And
Yeah, close
the
enough.
Night Heralds, horrid things beyond destruction.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's the Tomb of Tula Seft,
Yep.
who was a scholar of elements. We need to find an entrance in the Pale Mountain, which is a blank stone within a scar. And we need to find a large gem with scrolling hieroglyphs, which is, I think, is the
Yes.
countdown clock.
Mm-hmm.
All the treasure we find is ours, apart from that thing. There's tracks. There's gonna be some knolls. It's 80 miles to the Pale Mountain, and we got 9 days.
Mm-hmm.
How's that
9
sound?
days head start.
That's a pretty good summary.
Let's go.
So, once you finish asking various questions, Lady Board sends you upstairs, where Commodus hands you a couple of things.
No.
So, he hands you an
I've heard
ivory
explosives.
scroll tube containing a scroll of fly and a +1 magic short sword. Again, to be handed to whoever you see fit.
I can't use short swords.
Can I?
I can.
You
Then
didn't write
you
that
have
down.
the short sword.
Can anyone
I've
else
got a dog
use it?
slicer.
I can.
I'm more bomb based.
I know one.
I don't know.
So Commodus also turns around and says, We have been
It's a scroll.
we have been instructed that if you would like, we can provide you with camels.
With what?
Camels.
Who wants by
Yeah.
camel now?
4 legs, humps.
Do we need to
I
return?
thought that was
it?
a dog. Yeah, it has 4 legs and humps.
It's some sort of
It's an
desert
animal.
quadruped.
It's an
It's like a
animal.
horse with a water tank
Right.
strapped to it.
It's an animal people around here use to travel faster along the plains. Camels are better for travelling across the deserts.
Oh, I knew what the camel was. I said, do we need to return them?
Depends on if you want to try and get the deposit afterwards, I guess.
No. Lupa, do you want the camel? Yeah, I'll take one.
Right, well, we'll arrange for your camels, that's fine.
Hey, well,
Look at
also-
that.
Oh yeah, all of a sudden. Oi,
Yeah,
do I
you
get a
can
camel?
collectively.
Calm down,
No,
boss.
no, you don't get a camel.
Shush,
Right on me.
Bruce. You don't
May
get
you
a camel.
find speed and insight in your course. For performing the service, you will earn a good name within the order. A reward greater than the coin, whether you believe it so or not.
Ooh.
He then speaks a short phrase in another tongue. Does anyone know the Assyriani language?
The one now.
Ancient
Oh, I do,
Siriani.
I do.
Yes.
No,
where's
Assyriani, not ancient Assyriani.
Close enough. No, Assyriani will give it to you.
Where is
Ancient Assyriani will give it to you as well.
Languages are just under here. That's
So,
not been added
the
for
short
you.
phrase he speaks means "seek and you shall find."
What do you say?
In common, seek and you shall find.
Okay.
Ah, learned people, I see.
I am indeed. Spent a long time studying books and such.
What I think of is help will always be asked for those who ask at Hogwarts.
Oh.
So,
I don't get that reference.
for the journey itself, the 80-mile journey to the mountain itself, there's going to be a couple of checks done, which are survival based. So whoever is making the main check makes the main check. Anyone who wishes to assist needs to reach a particular DC to assist.
So who has the highest survival?
Lizzing.
It's me with 8.
Druid always does.
Okay.
I'm the I've got 4 before I
7.
roll.
So if anyone wishes to assist, they
Nope.
can.
I will only hinder.
Yeah, so it'd probably be you
my
be the main
survival is
assistant?
only 3.
yeah. So it'd probably safer to say you do the main and then you do the assist, being the sort of both the highest.
My whiz is 0, so I'm not going to do anything.
Because you know me, I could assist, but I'll probably fail.
I do.
23.
23?
Yep.
Okay. So, the first day, you make good time. So you make 20 miles worth of travel on the first day.
Awesome.
Yep. So that's fine. Go ahead and make another roll for the second day. She's got my pens and pencils. You want to quote something?
26.
26. Okay. Once again, you make good time and you get 20 miles on the second day.
Ooh, wow, that's plodding on.
Move around along.
18.
18. Okay. So you just about make 20 miles on the third day.
Yay,
Although there are a couple of
consistency.
points where you,
Flag a bit.
yeah, and like you almost get a little bit lost, but you just about manage to hold it.
23.
Okay. So takes you 4 days to get 80 miles.
Damn.
Not too shabby.
Yep, that's good.
Consistent. Are we there yet?
No. Bear with me.
Right. As we get to the bottom of the mountain, you say that, I go, duh.
Oh.
So, getting from Kelmoraine to Pell Mountain takes a couple of days. The journey, roughly 80 miles, crosses mostly flat terrain, low hills and old roads. So, you haven't had any trouble with it, that's fine. So, truly difficult part of the journey starts once the group reaches the old road marked on the map of the foothills that you've been given.
Well, I was the one in front. I more than likely have the map.
Yeah. That's true.
No, we're not exactly going to let you hold it now, is we?
Yeah, because
Why not?
Because you'll notice as I'm riding, I'm not actually holding the reins. I'm holding the map, and
So-
the camel is just going in the correct direction.
That is the map up to the tomb itself.
So where are we currently?
the bottom here. So this
At
is
B1.
yeah. So right down here.
Right.
That's right at the bottom of the map where you've pretty much just arrived
Cool.
at the base of the mountain itself.
Cool.
Let's go
So,
right in.
civilization?
Any villages or anything?
So, no. So, the looming presence
Oh,
of
no.
Pale Mountain rises to the northeast. Its slopes rugged and forbidding, the overgrown tracks of an old road wind through the foothills, but no visible trail leads up into the tangles of scrubs and brambles between here and the dormant volcano's slopes.
Should
Okay.
probably. I think.
We've got no. Most of the time, people are going to be finding this very difficult to walk through. If we walk closer to the river, it'll be easier for you. Plus, we'll have a water source.
Easier.
That sounds reasonable.
It'll be easier for someone else
Indeed.
to find us.
We can try
Wait.
cover our tracks.
Right, okay. Can I use a knowledge nature to have a look for any identifying tracks as we go? So
That would be
basically,
a survival.
is it a survival?
Be a
Sorry.
survival.
So I want to see basically if the animals and other things that may be in here, what natural paths they might use, and then we could adopt those ones.
Okay. If you'd like to roll that, if you'd like to roll your survival.
I rolled a 1. 8. Wait, 1 is still a fail in this, isn't it?
One's
Yes.
a fail.
It's actually a critical fail.
Oh no!
Um,
Could be something poisonous.
Yeah.
I'll drown.
You.
Oh, look!
Can I use a hero point to reroll?
If I remember right.
Oh look, a rabid mountain lion. I wonder if we're here, Kitty.
Be my friend.
Lucy got dysentery.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did I get syphilis? I didn't even touch anything.
I went hunting cougars and got awfully mauled by this actual cougar.
It's an ant. Oh no, it's all the ants.
Fortunately,
It's
you
a
need
dire
2
ant.
hero points
Everything's
in order
dire.
to re-roll a d20 roll. I
Oh,
didn't
my hero
give
points
any
are
out
not
for
on
this
these characters, no.
one. No, so you start each session with 1, and I haven't actually given one out for the beginning of this session.
Boo!
And no one has done anything that would really earn them another point.
I knew I forgot someone's bribe.
Alright,
Okay.
so you can't re-roll that. So, you actually end up following some tracks,
Okay.
roughly in a circle that takes you about an hour.
Oh.
Then you realise it's your own tracks.
Oh.
You got very confused by the Velociraptor making it look
Well, I
like
didn't even
non-human
follow
tracks.
me.
Oh yeah,
I was going for
Velociraptor.
one bit.
Sad now.
Sad.
I didn't follow. I was going up the
Sad.
Okay,
upstream.
can you also please roll me a survival?
27.
Okay, so you actually take about 10 minutes and you go over to the base of the stream. There's a waterfall rushing down, and without climbing up, you can't actually get to the base of the stream that way.
Okay.
Without
So I have
going
to go
back,
round.
you have to go back round either way to go up the more difficult terrain area.
Alright, I'm
It's
sorry. I'm
either
trying not to
climbing.
look at the other one.
No, it's fine. But yeah, it's either climbing or difficult terrain.
No, so I was
Excuse me.
looking at the top map to see
No,
what
that's
it was
fine.
looking like.
But
Right.
you do find some tracks that look kind of dog-like.
This way. Start wandering off.
Stop following.
Yeah, but all in all, with everything that goes on there, that does take you about an hour
Mm.
to.
We've faffed for about an hour.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, what I was expecting.
So,
Yeah, it's following. Said it was.
so heading up the side.
I am going to keep my distance. I'm going to lag a bit behind the rest of the group and stealth it.
Okay, roll me yourself.
You're going into the shadows.
Well, yeah, no, basically, I'm going to be, covering the rear and watching you guys.
Oh, oh.
Oh, matron.
That's a 12 plus my stealth of 7. So
19.
19, awesome. Give me one moment. I just need to grab.
Was it? I've got my stealth score and then my proficiency.
Your proficiency is added onto your dex and stuff like that to
Okay.
make the score.
Righto. Well, okay, that's different.
Yeah, it's a little bit more like the way they do it in D&D 5th now, where everything has a proficiency bonus added to it, but it's separate proficiencies for separate things.
I should figure out something.
Aletha, did you want to cover our tracks so that the night dudes can't follow us?
I mean, I can try, but I can't tell my ass from my elbow
Yeah,
at the moment.
I believe in you.
Based on the information given, the Night Heralds have no idea that this path even exists.
I know.
They'll be going from the other side of the mountain.
I know, but they could send some scouts around to see if they are being followed or if
No,
anyone else is
That's
going.
fine. Just letting you know what you know, so you know that they're likely to be on the other side of the mountain.
I know,
going
but
from
I don't trust people.
No, that's fine.
So-
Okay, not a problem.
Probably a fair thing.
I mean, in that case, we should probably bury the Velociraptor shit because that would give us away.
No.
So, if people could please roll me perception.
Oh.
No.
You know what you can do?
Seeing
Think
things.
yourself, write it.
Where's my perception?
Write
There it
it,
is.
T-Rex.
Ooh.
Ah, 25.
22.
14.
18.
Some.
Now I can't figure out where my perception is.
On the left hand side under your hit points.
8.
Oh, there.
Nice.
26.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Samesies.
So I rolled a 1 and then an 18. God, this session.
God, this dice is so random.
Wait, Lucy,
What?
you're doing a Merlin.
Well, you
Anyway.
you shut your whole
Anyone?
mouth.
Anyone who got over a 15.
Oh, I'm fine.
No.
Anyone who got over a 15
I'm busy.
notices that there are some hyenas that are prowling around, and they are being sneaky quiet. Anyone who got more than 10 or more above that, the people who got 26,
Yeah.
you've noticed them so far in advance that you have time to set up to deal with them. Because they haven't seen you yet.
Very quick, draw my bow.
Just walking forward. La, 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 la.
And I ready.
Oblivious to
Ready
everything.
an arrow.
Okay.
I'll put a hand down. Who's on my left? You are on my left.
I'm already
Okay.
flanking. Because I'm hanging back on everyone, I'm already flanking round the hyenas
Okay,
to
I'm
get them
gonna shoot.
to
Wait,
go from behind.
from my perception check, can I say does one look bigger or more alpha-like? Are there alphas in hyenas? I'm assuming they're not.
There is
Pack leader.
one of these
Total.
creatures that looks bigger, yes.
Okay. Instantaneous. So I get an instantaneous accent. So I'm gonna hunt target
Instantaneous accent.
and shoot.
Trying to think what you mean.
Ah.
So, at the moment, because your perception was so high, you're about 200 feet from it.
Okay.
Bit far. Bit far.
So that she can attempt the attack, but there are minuses
Oh,
to
yeah, 'cause
shooting
my
outside
range-
your range.
My range is 100. So okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hunt target because that's within sight range.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna stalk up after it.
Okay. So, roll me stealth, please.
I do have a stealth skill on it.
Is anyone else going to be attempting to be quiet as well at this point?
Yes.
I have no idea. La
I will.
la 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 la.
Hey, look, it's that big juicy
Okay, so
target.
if everyone could please
Yeah,
roll
stealthy.
the initiative
Stealth
based
is
off
23.
of your stealth.
Oh, 23.
Yeah.
I'm not rolling a stealth.
Ooh.
No, yours will be off perception.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
I'm going last.
Okay.
I bet you I'm going last.
So everyone needs to roll me initiative if
Yeah.
it's not being off stealth perception.
Yeah.
Anyone who's had above a 20.
Yeah.
Yep.
23.
It was a 23.
What's yours?
22.
Oh, yeah, I should really roll the creatures as well.
No. They don't get turns. They just get circle kicking.
Circle kick.
As much as I know you guys would like that, sorry, but they do need a turn.
Circle kick. Fucking curb stomp.
Well, Seth Rollins from.
So we have. Okay. Between 20 and 15.
16.
Oh, and what are we adding on top of? And because I got 20 over 20, what am I adding? Oh, I got an 18.
No, you were rolling
Initiative.
your initiative.
Oh right.
Yeah, so it's initiative based off stealth for anyone that
Yes.
was being
Oh
quiet.
right. So
Right.
it was just our stealth check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
just
Yeah.
stealth. So sorry, anyone between 15 and 10?
14.
Why am I not surprised that you're going last, Meghead?
Yeah, this normally happens. Happened last time.
Between 10 and 5.
Hey, 6.
Wow, at least it was above 5 this time.
What was yours?
I was 22.
Oh, you were 22. Sorry.
Yeah, I was barely within that bracket.
Yeah, sorry, I actually missed my boom.
Yeah, so I'm going to be stealthy. It's fine. My race should help me with this. I am short. And I just have I'm gonna have Bruce like sticking on top of my head, sticking out behind a bush. Something.
You can't use your Evolve as a periscope.
So, there are
Vulva.
3 of the hyenas and one of the bigger one. It looks a little whack bigger.
I've got my crossbow at the ready.
It's on roids.
Could people please give me a society check as an additional to this?
No.
Oh, see, when
Is it
this
based
doesn't
on-
matter so much.
No. So-
10.
Is it based on having seen the hyenas?
Yes.
Okay.
23.
Okay.
See? But it doesn't matter so much.
Okay, so
25.
7.
10.
okay, you two, that would be Garrick and Aletha. You two are aware that these hyenas are actually adorned with various fetishes and markings.
Yeah.
Fetishes.
It's like little bone.
Little charms.
Little charms.
Your
And
mind's
things.
Okay.
Voodoo shit.
Okay. Sorry, I spent too
they're-
long on the internet.
Yeah, they're adorned with little fetishes and charms and
So they
such,
have
as well as
Skin
some
masks,
markings,
chest harnesses.
which actually identifies them as Knoll war hyenas.
Oh.
Ooh. Oh.
So that means that Knowles aren't too far away.
Mhm.
So they haven't spotted you. So you get to within 100 feet. If you'd like to make, like collectively, if you'd like to make your attack, this will be a surprise round functionally for you.
Okay.
Okay.
They're too far away from my bombs.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, damn, did I actually write down my ammo? Hang on.
Probably not.
23. Oh no, I've got my hand tag 23. 25 to hit.
So can I sneak
Yeah,
up
that'll
into stabbing distance? Because either that or I'm going to throw a knife at it.
You're not in stabbing distance yet.
Shit,
You're
little
also
crossbow.
actually not in knifing
Yeah,
distance.
what
Okay.
kind of shit show is this?
I'll keep sneaking.
I don't know, it's your
His
channel.
phone is 10 foot
For
a knife. for a dagger.
Yeah, every range increment beyond that is minuses. But
Yeah.
yes, you do hit. So if you can roll damage.
Damn it, where did I put my ammo?
Can I have my book, please? So,
I know I bought box.
sorry, I am not
No,
so
no,
great with
that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, because it's the playtest, we don't know the rules inside and out, and we do need to check things up as we go a little bit.
Yeah,
Here's
apologies.
learnings.
Can I roll for my Velociraptor because I've got to see if you notice them.
Yeah.
24.
Damn it.
Massive.
Little Raptor's just kind of gone food.
Well, he's got scent, so he's just gone.
Yeah. Food.
Yeah, so he does alert you, and I'm not going to make you have to roll again because the Velociraptor's seen them. He alerts you.
That's distance, fine.
He's gonna sneak. He can sneak.
Okay, sorry. So basically it says I've got deadly 1d10.
Yeah, deadly is if you succeed, if you get a critical hit, you add that dice instead of regular dice. So
Okay.
it's a D8 normally, it'll go up to a D10 for your critical dice.
Okay.
Hmm.
Got a 50 next. So.
Deadly's awesome.
Yes, I have deadly.
Okay. So I just have problems with a longbow at short distance, but that's fine. Okay. I think that makes sense.
But it is not a critical hit though, based on
8.
8 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, mine's 1d8, so it's just 8, isn't it?
I thought you put the dex on as well.
Do I add on? I don't think so. I thought you add it on.
I
No.
don't think
No.
so.
I think you would add it
No.
onto the thing.
There's a rogue ability that allows you to add dex damage instead of strength with finesse-based
okay.
weapons.
but it's not on ranged weapons.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so with that, because no one else actually has the range to hit them from this range.
I do.
Do you? Okay.
Crossbow, 120 foot.
Okay, yeah. If you want to
Crossbow
make an
them.
attack as well.
Alright, Ray! See if I can actually hit them.
So there's 3 smaller ones and 1 bigger one.
15 to hit the
Give us a bigger one.
bigger one.
Go on,
Yeah.
the big one.
Nope. Unfortunately,
Kill the
the
magic
touch
user.
attack, the touch AC, which is what you'll be going off of because they haven't seen you, still will not hit.
Oh, lame.
Damn. What are they made of?
22 on
It's just a
stealth for
crap
my
shot.
Velociraptor.
Must have been
So-
close.
With that, though, those of you that didn't get above an 18 on stealth, it has seen, and it has seen those that have shot it because you've shot it.
Let's try.
Well, that works well.
My
Can
Velociraptor
I
is still sneaking.
talk before they move? So I shot and I want to say 4 words.
Yeah.
Pew. There. Wait. No. War. Peaks.
Again, don't worry too much about specific word counts. It's
Yeah.
don't take the piss.
Okay.
You can have small sentences or two. It's just as long as you're not giving a thesis before these things start munching on your faces. It's not much of a problem.
No.
I get into a sneaky
Or a
position.
monologue.
So,
Okay.
so you loose an arrow. It flies across and hits this bigger one, and it gives an almighty growl and a bit of a howl at you. You fire a bolt which arcs just above it as it's sort of moving around. You miss.
See, it moved.
Yep, you just missed its natural movement. At which point, in turn order, it is Johan first.
Right. Well.
So they haven't seen you yet because you
yeah.
are.
So I'm
up.
still sneaking through the brush. Sort of
Mhm.
my rapier sort of drawn at my side, waiting for one to come close.
Okay, so
Try and sneak attack
a
one.
lot of the area is kind of difficult terrain.
Mhm.
There's a lot of brambles and such in the area. There's only a few patches that are relatively clear. Which one of these patches is actually what the hyenas are in.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Well, if they're all going to start, if they've been alerted to this lot,
Yep. Just very
trying to think my
quick.
position relative to them. I'll wait for them to come to me
Okay, that's fine.
and surprise them.
Okay, so you're
So
going
I
to.
love surprises, not this one.
Okay, so
Stabby
you're gonna
surprise!
hang there. Okay.
Stab you with my spoon.
Spoon.
Okay.
Sorry, because I can't find the exact deal with it. For the purposes of this encounter, count each of your movements, unless you have something that helps you deal with difficult terrain. Count your movement as 5 less.
You know, I should have picked that different item.
Wow, I'm so slow.
Cassis, I was just looking at Animal Companion.
Oh, wow,
because
you
in the
is.
first Pathfinder, they had a separate turn. In this one, they go on your turn.
Yeah.
And they have 2 actions during your turn. So they can either like move and attack, or attack and defend. Or
But the person who has the companion has to use one of their 3 actions to command the animal to get the
Oh, no,
animals
yeah.
to.
Mm.
so
So it
Which actually
becomes
isn't bad.
4 actions between the two of yous.
Yeah, so
basically,
4
yeah.
actions to each at that point. Yeah.
which I still think is interesting. So I was just checking. So previously,
Yeah, no, that's
you
cool.
try and have them all doing separate things, and then you forget about them. And
Yeah.
shit.
But yeah, you have to actively command them in this one. Although there is things you can take which mean they get an instant 1 in a turn or something, but
Depending on what it is.
yes. But yeah, so Johan is waiting. So the three smaller creatures start darting forwards at that point. They're relatively quick. They're about 100 feet from you, so they actually need to use 3 actions to get up close with you guys, but they do it. They're hunting creatures and they're fairly used to covering distances. So
So there are no grills.
yeah, straight away they're
Up in the grills.
Just yeah. So there's 2 have come towards you. 1 of them come towards you.
This one's big.
And you are slightly back, I believe.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was up front.
So front. Okay. No,
Yeah,
so
I
one
could-
to you,
I didn't
one
notice
to her,
them.
one to him.
So,
The bigger one, after they've started moving forwards, the bigger one then also darts forwards, paying bugger all heed to the fact that it's difficult terrain, and still needs 3 actions to get into range. Yeah,
carry on. Wait until you're done.
that's fine. But yeah, still takes 3 actions to get into range. But
Can you roll things out of your turn? So
what in
a
particular?
diplomacy. Because I've got a thing which is wild empathy, which means I can talk to animals.
You
And-
would need to attempt that one during your turn.
That's what I was checking.
Yep, that's fine. But yeah, so all 4 of these creatures use pretty much their entire turn getting up close with you guys. From what you can tell, they appear a little bit hungry, which may be one of the reasons they're so quick to get into combat with you. Boom.
How close is the big one?
Given that you were the one closest, it's probably come up to you first. So it's from you, probably about 10 feet.
Actum!
Don't.
How far back are the other ones?
Set
There's one in your grill.
He's going to
There's
set fire
one
to the whole
in
hillside.
Letha's grill, and there's one in her.
There are 2 on
And
me,
there's 2
and
in
I've
her.
basically
Okay.
gone, don't.
Quick draw.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you stab a bomb into them.
No, dog slicer. Quite fitting actually. Ah, fuck. 14 to hit?
Dry scrubland.
Nope, never mind.
Okay, so you use your first action to draw the weapon. You use your other 2 actions to try and
I
stab.
quick draw the weapon.
Can't get it as an alchemist.
Okay. Boo. I won't
There's actually very few classes that get quick draw anymore because it's not a generalised. It is a specific thing for specific classes now.
Okay.
Like
Either way.
With a ranger, you can quick draw a bow.
Okay.
Specific,
Oh, yeah, I quick draw
specific.
bombs.
Yeah, specific to different things. So you draw your weapon. You slash at it twice. Unfortunately, misses. It's quite a nimble creature. Again, a bit like a dog. And it's like growling in your face.
I'll have your head, you little yapper bastard!
Do you like
It is your
dags?
As you're stuck
Is the
in
big
face,
one in
so.
front of me?
No, the big one is in front of her at the
Is there
moment.
another one attacking me?
There is.
I can't attack another target because I'm hunting that one. So I'm going to try
Okay.
and move out of the threatening square.
Okay. Okay, yeah. It does not have attack of opportunity.
Okay, I'm going to barrel roll out of it.
Mm-hmm.
One action. Was a half big action. My second action is to command Looper to attack this one.
Okay.
And then my third is a move action to the threat toward the one that I've threatened.
Okay, so given that you've got a bow,
Mm-hmm.
strictly
Oh, no, I can shoot from
speaking-
here, yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm going to move, command, and then shoot.
yeah, because you've got range, so you're threatened. As, yeah.
How close is it though to me? Roughly.
About 15 feet from you.
Okay, no, I can't shoot this close. So
Are you sure you can't shoot this close? Are you sure it's not just you take minuses to the
I
shot?
take extreme minuses to shoot this close, and I love the longbow.
Okay, so it's your choice. You can still attempt the shot.
I
But-
will. I'm hoping that the minuses might, because I've got a minus to shoot, but I have a plus for hunting. I can try.
Give it a
give
shot.
it a go.
I say it's all about seeing what you can and can't do.
So 12 plus 9 is
21.
21. So minus 2 for in range,
19.
plus 2 for me hunting it.
21.
So
So-
your hunting actually cancels out your minuses
So
for range.
yeah, that's fine.
That will hit.
Right. 5.
Okay, 5 points of damage. Okay, so as the big one's there growling at Kiara, an arrow thunks into its side. You also have your wolf to do as well. Your wolf gets its 2 actions because you've commanded it.
Go, Wolfie, go. Okay.
I thought dogfights were illegal.
It's going to, because it
Down
has
here.
its jaws as a finesse weapon.
Yep. So it
What does
uses.
finesse do?
You can use Dex to hit instead of Strength.
Okay.
I got a tenner on the wolf.
It's still Strength for damage, but
That's what I have written out. So it is 17 to hit.
that's on one of the smaller ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that will hit. If you want to roll damage.
5.
Okay. And you've got one more action with the wolf.
It's now going to do wolf trap because it was a successful jaw strike, and it's now going to pin the wolf.
Okay.
Pin the hyena. So the next time, the hyena has to break out as one of its actions before it can do anything else.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That puts it into the pinned state. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Or condition rather
Yes.
than state.
State, condition, form of being. It is fucking pinned.
Get in bin.
Getting sleep old.
Go, Lupa, go. Be free. Fuck it up.
Lupa, use constrict. It's super effective.
Okay, so that's your turn. Kiara.
Right.
To do
So-
what?
23 on diplomacy to talk with the hyenas in front of me.
Okay. What are you saying in particular or trying?
Well, I can actually speak to them
Yep.
and understand them. So I'm basically there going, I won't hurt you unless you hurt me.
Okay.
If I give you food, will you leave me be?
Okay, so you try talking to them.
Mhm.
You get back a couple of guttural growls along the lines of prey, not masters. Food. You get the distinct impression that they are not just a wild animal, they are trained and therefore not quite so easy to sway, unfortunately.
No, that's fine.
What they say.
You still have your other two actions.
I'm not doing anything for my other two actions. I won't harm an animal unless they've harmed me first.
Okay. That's
It's one of my devout
Ooh.
things for my
Ooh.
for who I
Are
am.
you
With your
giving-
diplomacy, you can stand on threateningly.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Hmm.
I'm literally standing there. If they attack me first, I will defend myself. But because of my background as an animal whisperer, I cannot harm an animal unless it's for food or defense.
Have you got anything that you can use to protect us? Like wards or anything?
Not really.
Do that. You heard me out.
What they say.
Are you giving any orders to your Velociraptor as well?
Hang on. Oh, sorry. Can I finish your
Yeah,
book?
just because I can't harm an
Look
animal
at that.
first doesn't mean my Velociraptor can't.
Are you looking for the animal companion?
Can it maybe swing to those creatures?
No, I'm
The
looking for one
bison doesn't give a
myself.
fuck.
He won't attack unless I tell him to, and I wouldn't tell him to attack an animal unless it's attacked me first. So.
Meanwhile, my Vol's like, let me at him.
I'll bite their eyes out.
Scratch your eyes out.
Yeah, and it's just like, no, stay here.
I'll let them eat me and then eat them from the inside.
It's not quite how it works. Yes, you've seen Men in Black and other such films.
You have far too much fun in your life, Ronan.
Why?
I don't know.
Sorry. The way this works, it has to be something I'm holding. If I let go of it and give it to someone else, will it nullify the effects?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Oh, no, bitch.
No, that's fine.
That's how we do things in my town, bitch.
Mm-mm. We're saying that everything becomes more gravitas.
Mm,
You add the word motherfucker at the end.
Also, and shit.
So Sorry, just to check, what was the thing that your wolf did before?
Wolf trap. But I was waiting for a grapple check.
For example, I spend most of my evenings doing crochet and shit.
Oh,
Sounds more
Makes sense.
intimidating. Yeah.
It's not a trap, it's a trip.
Yeah, you know, sitting around playing Pathfinder and shit.
well, you.
That's why we keep saying it needs more dragons and shit.
Dungeons and Dragons and Dragons.
And shit.
And shit.
Sorry, apologies again, slowing down slightly because of the not knowing every
Paperwork, admin, all
Maybe
that usual
well,
Well,
nonsense.
playtesting,
Yeah.
it's all completely new to us.
Yeah,
So.
but meanwhile, I can answer that. So yes, I'm very much aware that Pathfinder is a D&D. It is along the same sort of lines, but Twitch doesn't have a tabletop RPG section. They've got ones, for the tabletop simulator and the Roll20 specifically, which this is neither. So hence why D&D is the best section for it. Unless they've updated it, since last I checked, then yeah.
This is what we're stuck with.
I mean, that's something we
Yeah,
can look
Twitch
at when this stream goes down later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can look into it, but
So very quickly, we'll just quickly step back and do that properly then. So for yours, need to make a athletics attempt
Okay.
with the wolf's athletics as a.
Yep, I wrote that down.
It's a trip attempt, not an attempt to pin.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's wolf trip, which will knock them prone, which still forces them to use a turn to get up. But
Okay. 18 for my 18 for my athletics check.
yes, that will beat its reflex DC. So it knocks it prone.
Okay.
So apologies for that. A little bit of an aside, checking a few rules, getting a few things right, making sure we know what's going on with those.
but yeah, for my other two actions, I'm not doing nothing. I'm standing there
Doing
unthreateningly.
nothing unthreateningly, and your Velociraptor is currently not being given orders to do anything.
Nope, he is currently waiting until he's ordered to do something.
Yeah, no worries. Garrick.
Right. Because I've forgotten this particular thing, moving out of a threatened square doesn't provoke an attack of opportunity, does it?
It
Nope,
depends if
attack
they
of
have
opportunity now is a specific ability tied more to specific classes or creatures as opposed to something everything gets. You don't know if these things actually have attack of opportunity or not. So it would be a case of stepping out and seeing.
Yeah. 'Cause, otherwise, do you reckon it would be the similar sort of thing for Pathfinder First, where you can use acrobatics to try and avoid that or not? No. Okay. In that case, I'm because I've got a hyena in my face.
Yep.
I'm going to move back 15 feet because minus 5 foot from my normal speed.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use my remaining 2 actions to cast a cantrip, Tanglefoot.
Okay.
Nice.
So what does Tanglefoot do?
Tanglefoot basically gets vines and growth to try and entangle the specific creature. It's not an area.
Tanglefoot feet.
So I need to make a ranged touch attack.
Okay.
Which is that based
Good
off
touch or
of
bad
my where is it?
Bad touch.
Bad touch.
Spell roll.
Yes.
It is okay. Cool. So against touch AC.
Whoa!
Crit.
Okay. Do you have the rules written down there? For
Yes,
crit
I do.
success?
Normal success is entangled. Crit success is immobile.
Okay. So, as you're pulling together the magics to weave together the spell, the already reasonable growth in the area, instead of just coming together to tangle its legs up, it binds together and holds this thing completely in place, unable to move, and it's there whimpering as it's trying and failing to move at all. Okay, that's your turn.
Yeah, that's all 3 of my actions.
get competent?
Johan,
Right, is there one within range?
there are.
I've always been
the
competent.
closest one to you is at this point. You've got the large one and the slightly smaller
I
one.
will sneak
next to
attack.
her.
I will try and sneak attack the closest one
Okay.
because while they're concentrating forward, I'll be able to rush and attack attack them.
Okay, so from where you are, you can get to either the smaller or the bigger one.
Well, let's get the big one.
Okay, if you'd like to roll your attack.
Cut the head off the snake.
I forgot to might add. It's for 1 round.
Okay, so my rapier.
Yep, that's what it is standard.
This is my rapier roll is 7. So that means I add 7 to whatever I roll.
Yes.
Back to it in a minute. What page?
10.
Bam.
Yeah, 10 total.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, notice
If
the
you have any
first attack
food,
misses.
take it now.
So as it's there growling and its body's naturally moving with its threatening movements, you thrust forward to attempt to stick it with the pointy end, and you just miss as its breathing goes in, its body contracts.
Sounds kinky.
So you've used one action to move in range. You've used one further action to attack. You've got one more action.
Stab more.
That will be under multi-attack, so it'll be -5 on your attack.
Ooh, okay.
But your other bonuses still apply.
Yeah. Nothing.
Oh.
Well, it'll be 7 base. Just plus my rapier skill. So it's nothing.
Yep, that will miss. It also
No.
won't be a critical fail.
No.
It's not quite.
No.
Low enough to fuck up.
It's not a
Stab
natural
more.
one.
With
It's a
this one,
It's a 5.
anything
Oh.
10 or less than the DC you need is actually a critical fail,
Oh, wow,
as well
okay.
as a natural one.
Hmm.
And anything that's 10 or above what you need is a critical success, even without a natural 20.
Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So there's more chance for fail, but more chance for success.
Name.
Yes, there is.
Get eaten.
Okay, so you attempt 2 quick thrusts onto the big one. Unfortunately, both miss. So I just need to check something.
Oh, you're right there. You're
Oh.
struggling.
Condition. So is that me?
No. Leon was just struggling to open the sweeties.
I was trying not to. I was trying not to make it too loud for the mic.
It's always loud. Just do it and get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
Can't use any action, activity, reaction. One reaction has a move trait. If an external force move, you add space.
So yeah, so that's pretty good. The first spell, the first spell of the game. Oh.
Bitch ain't moving.
Yep, no, that's fine. So
You just assume it's gender.
the one that was next to
We
you,
already know that the small one's a
is-
female, therefore it is a bitch.
unable to
Touche.
go for you.
So we're unable to do anything at the moment.
You went for the other one next to her and missed.
The one that was in my face.
Yeah.
You big crows.
Okay, so the one that is next to your wolf, that one is going to attempt to.
Nom face.
So there are
yeah.
so 2 of the little ones are trapped.
Actually, no, technically nom neck.
So 2 of the little ones are trapped. One of the little ones is facing me, and then there's Big Bastard. There's 3 small ones and 1 big one.
Does a
Yeah, I've got 2 on me.
14 beat your wolf's AC?
One's pinned by the wolf. One's handled in vines.
Which one did you pin?
The one that was in front of me, one of the smaller ones.
Sorry, say again.
14 does beat its AC. Okay. So what was your question?
No, we're trying to figure out where they are because I've got 2 on me, the big one and a small one.
Mm-hmm.
You said there's one that's Lucy's wolf is dealing with,
Yeah,
which
one of
was
the small
pinned,
ones.
and then
No, it's tripped.
either
it's
way,
used one action to stand up.
that's not what matters. There's one there, 2 on me, so there's
One on him.
Yeah.
He attempted to stab the ones next to you.
okay. You
No,
were
I-
trying to go for the one that was on me,
I
right?
Because he said that one of the little ones was in my face, so I thought it was being aggro at me.
More or less. You're all fairly close together.
Okay.
Mm.
It's not an exact science without map, right?
No, that's why I was trying to figure out where it was in my head.
So I'm just checking something with a thing.
You
Again,
have your own.
lots
I
of
brought you
things
your own.
Used to.
Put them on the other side of you, dear. I don't like them.
Oh no, thank you.
So they-
But I am going to
Yes,
have
okay.
some more skies.
Sorry, again, it's finding everything in the book as we're trying to get it.
Keep them this side, they might be safe.
No, they will never be safe.
I can try, man. I can try.
Oh yeah, you can try.
And fail, but try.
I know all about the fading plant.
Yeah.
Sorry, apologies for that.
That's
Your
good on
wolf
character
takes
movements as well,
7
would be-
points
would
of
be-
piercing damage,
No, Luca.
and
Son of a
I
bitch.
believe is knocked down. Might be a quick.
You bite me and knock me over, I bite you and knock you over, bitch.
It quite literally just says plus knockdown. It doesn't actually have anything specifying.
I get
Anything
knocked
to
down.
do.
Then I get up again. You're never gonna hit me down. I get knocked down.
Okay, so then with its last
I don't think we make too many references.
No.
with its last action, it's going to attempt a drag attack, which is an attempt of dual strike.
Is it gonna
Okay,
get dressed up?
17. Does that hit? Okay.
It's going to sashay away.
Okay. So your wolf takes another 4 points of piercing damage, and
They haven't got any pockets what I can pick.
no, unfortunately. So it takes another 4 points of piercing damage, and it is dragged 10 feet backwards as it attempts to start dragging it away while it's attacking it.
Any idea? Does anyone know what poisoned weapon does? Obviously, it poisons my weapon, but what are the effects of that poison?
You'll have to look it up.
Your weapon against Polly might die.
So, the one that you have immobilised is going to attempt to flail helplessly.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't manage that because it's too immobile for this turn. The little one that's next to you, because you've attempted to stab it and missed, it's going to turn its attention on you. Does a 21 beat your AC?
Fucking hell.
I'll take that as a yes. Okay, that is
What's
3
what's
points of
AC?
piercing damage.
Ow.
Also plus knockdown.
Hey, I gave you a pencil.
Yeah,
A
I
spare.
feel like I may actually have to definitely check how the fuck knockdown is. I can't find it in the book.
I need an eraser.
It might be in the bestiary, so 2 seconds. Sorry, guys.
We are British. Rubber.
No, I never say that because it gives too many people the opportunity to make condom jokes, and I know you all.
No.
So while I'm checking shit halfway through a combat, Merlan, do you want to just acknowledge people?
Yes, I will acknowledge people. I will also get involved in the free-for-all that you started.
I apologise all
You're
round.
only
for
rolling
this.
too.
But yeah, so doing Aaron was saying before, let's stab more. And then basically laughing at thrusts.
The rest.
So yeah, so obviously this bit, is where it gets a bit complex, just generally because there are bits and pieces of new rules and new ways of doing things which aren't so clear, which is kind of annoying.
It's
And also
difficult
first time
to
on the-
understand.
And also first time on the characters.
First time on these specific characters, but because we've not had a large amount of time to really use all the abilities and such, then it's all still a bit new to us. Even though we know Pathfinder, the original one, they've changed
There's
quite a few
lots
things around.
of things that have changed.
Yeah,
Can't just assume that because one thing works a certain way in Pathfinder 1 that Pathfinder 2 is going to do it.
yeah, definitely didn't work out that way. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, basically, these are all my spells.
I think that's possibly the shortest spell list I've ever seen you have.
Yeah,
For reference, that's because he plays a wizard.
yeah.
Yeah, in our
You do-
Pathfinder 1 campaign, his wizard is weird.
Oh yeah.
Badass.
Weird.
Well, I mean,
Okay.
obviously, you still get a
Okay.
spell book, which that's all the spells that I physically own, but I get much less spells, per day to use, which is annoying.
Okay, so I have found it. It was in the bloody bestiary. So knockdown is an automatically you are not prone if that attack succeeds. So it is how I was doing it, so that's fine.
Wow,
My apologies for that.
that
So
sucks.
yes, you are knocked prone
Smack.
and take 3 points of piercing damage from
You
that
haven't
attack.
taken that already.
Yeah.
It is then going to attempt to drag you. 23 to hit.
Funnily enough.
Alright. 6 points of piercing damage as it viciously bites your leg, which drags it out from under you. Then it lunges in and bites you on the upper arm and starts dragging you backwards, and you are moved 10 feet.
Get this fucking dog off me!
It is going to attempt to continue dragging you. I'm assuming a 10 doesn't beat your AC.
Thank fuck.
No. So, as it's dragging you, it loses its grip and staggers backwards slightly, and then and growls and moves forward in ready to position. The big one on you is going to attempt to attack you.
No, that's fair.
12.
No.
No. So it lunges forward and attempts to bite you. You instinctively move out of the way, and it just misses. 26.
Yep.
Okay. That'd be 8 points of piercing damage and knockdown. And it is going to,
Really?
its
By
last
hyenas?
action, attempt to drag you as well.
By hyenas.
14.
Beat my AC?
Yeah.
No.
Nope. So as it knocks you down by, again, grabbing your leg and just ripping it out from under you, almost picture perfect. It's almost picture perfect copy of the movement it used for her wolf. The smaller one used for her wolf, and the smaller one used for Boom. It's like they are specifically trained. And as it goes in to attempt to grab your arm and start dragging you off, you shuffle out of the way, and it hits nothing but dirt. So, Boom, it is now your turn. So you are currently prone.
I get up.
Yep, so one action stand up.
I don't hit.
I haven't even.
What is. Please let me
9.
know. Okay, so no, that won't hit. I do need to know numbers for critical success and failures.
Acton!
Oh.
I haven't even touched your dice.
What kind of bomb is this?
Does this include the -5 for multi?
Yes.
Okay, so that was a 6, you said?
Is this a
Yep.
fire bomb, a blast bomb? What is it?
Okay.
Acid flask.
Oh, you've thrown a flask this time.
What's in the flask?
Right.
Acid.
Oh, an acid flask.
That has a splash.
Yep.
Do you remember off the top of your head? Is it reflex for the splashes?
I have no idea. Hang on, let me find another character.
Apologies, because I think the flasks, they have got a splash for anyone within.
5 foot of the wherever it hits, I believe.
Yeah, I never had. Well, I had splash, but all of the ones that I had to check the book every time to see. So I can't remember.
I think it's 5 foot. I think it's 5 foot.
Yeah, everything around it in 5 foot gets hit. It's just
Whether or not you can
whether you
avoid it.
reflex it or not.
What was it that you used?
Acid flask.
Acid flask.
No. Do.
Chatbot. Get
Yeah,
this thing.
yeah, no, so, yeah.
Acid flask. Nope, so it is one acid splash in a 5 foot radius. You are currently next to it, so you will hit yourself for a point of splash.
Okay.
It will take a point of splash as well. It recoils slightly as the splash from this bomb that actually misses it with the initial hit does sort of spray all over the place. As it had been dragging him off, it doesn't hit either you or your raptor.
I figured it would.
Well, that's
Because
lucky.
he already dragged me 10 foot away from you.
But that is all of your
Yeah.
actions. Eletha.
Wow. I'm going to try and shoot again.
Oh, should do.
Does a 14 hit?
Is that the big one? No.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that will miss.
Okay.
That is not the one.
So, arrow sails past the big one as it's still growling after knocking her prone.
So with your whip.
Cool whip.
Right, I can change weapons. Yeah, I can change weapons. I can use my whip.
Watch me, Nene.
I have a hunt target, so even though I've changed weapons, my multi-attack, I don't gain the incredibly horrific minuses.
Okay.
So I'll do that. So I've got, my whip's got disarm, finesse, reach and trip.
Okay. So reach means you can hit creatures up to 10 feet away, I believe,
Yeah,
and you
normally.
can use it to make trip attacks. And it's finesse means you can use dex instead of strength to hit.
Okay. I will try that. So I don't take the minus. So 19 to hit.
That'll hit.
Yay!
Woo!
Okay.
Woo! That's just number one.
That's number wank.
Okay. Sad. Sad. 3 damage.
Okay.
And then I can try and trip.
I'm just checking that. I believe that is the case.
If it's finesse, it's your dexter.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
believe.
it's a
Yeah,
dex
because I
damage.
believe
Oh.
it works on a successful attack.
My
You
dex
can
is
attempt to.
Do you need finesse strike for that though?
Do you have finesse?
Yes.
No,
hang
so
on.
you can use this weapon to trip with the athletic skill even if you don't have a free hand. Uses the weapon's reach if different from your own and adds the weapon's item bonus to attack rolls. It doesn't actually say that you can use it as part of the attack.
Oh,
it
it's
can
used
just be used.
separately.
Yeah, so you use the athletics as you normally would to make a trip, but you can do it with that as the
Okay.
thing.
So I'm gonna have. So I have shoot with my bow, failed. I can quick draw it away. And then I have a draw for my whip, and then an attack with my whip, and that's my
Yeah.
3.
Okay, and that was how much damage did you say to her?
Well, so I was just checking. I've got finesse, so I add my dex to the damage, don't I? No.
No, you don't. It's still strength.
Alright.
It's
Okay.
just. It's just.
Three.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, finesse is to hit. The only time I believe you can get dex to damage is actually with the rogue ability.
Okay.
There are certain feats.
And certain feats. Yeah.
We are still learning.
Okay, so Kiara.
Right. So he's gone for me, the little fuck.
Yeah, so he has gone
So-
for you. He's had a arrow
Hurt its
fly over
arms.
him and then a whip catch him in the side, at which point he's turned and growled at Aletha.
Right. Why are both over here?
I don't know. I noticed that before. We've managed to get both of the books over here somehow. We're hoarders,
Goddamn
motherfucker.
rogues.
Orders.
Not enough books.
Mate, my
We need
sleight
a
of
tower.
hand. My sleight of hand is like godlike as a DM.
I would be using the PDF on my phone if the Paizo download wasn't broken.
That's when you look at it later, and it's fine. Props.
I guarantee it.
It's a ranged touch attack. How the fuck do I do that?
See, by the time it gets to my turn, I'm going to attempt to do something slightly awesome, but I'm probably
And
going to
so
fail.
basically, you make your spell
Yeah.
roll, and it's against touch AC,
Okay.
which is fun.
I swear I should just not come up with any ideas.
No, fair.
Just be
Just
on.
die in the corner.
No, just be on the fly. Just literally as soon as it gets my turn, I'm going to do nothing.
25.
Is that to hit?
Yeah.
Yep,
The
that
big one.
definitely hits. Yeah. It's not a critical, but it does hit.
Ah. So I'm trying to find my box with the correct dice in it.
Yeah, well.
It's acid splash,
Okay.
and it's heightened.
Heightened acid splash. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I suppose that's just you.
What?
Can you cast third level spells?
Huh?
You need to be able to cast third level. It uses a third level spell slot to do the heighten,
Oh, right. Okay. Never mind then.
because that's what I've got it. I've got it written down
So
here.
it'd be a normal spell slot then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, appreciate that. Thank you.
But don't worry, I got confused with that as well. Because I was like, wait, third. Oh wait, no, that's third level spell slot. Oops.
Not third level that you are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but stuff like that is confusing.
So 4 acid damage plus 1 splash damage.
Okay.
Pass that back
Okay.
Does it do persistent damage as well?
No, it's 4 acid damage plus 1 splash damage.
It's not fire.
Because when I looked at acid splash, it's 1d8 plus 4, and then plus 1d6 persistent acid damage.
That's a different spell.
Well, there's acid splash your thing, then yours is nice.
Yeah,
Oh,
1d4
right,
acid
so
damage
that's-
plus 1 splash damage. On a crit success, the target also takes 1 persistent acid damage. He says hastily crossing out his fuck up.
Yep.
But yeah, that's
Oh
fine.
yeah, BT dubs.
They're
Get
really
smacked.
loving toward Never.
Yep.
Okay, so
Bitch, learn how to read.
so being have you stood up or have you just done that from prone?
I've just done that from prone, so that's
Okay,
one.
so having been knocked down, you have weaved together your arcane, primal energies
Primal.
now.
Yep.
Her primal energies, forces of nature coming together, and she is flung forwards a splash of acid that's just hit it in the chest, and it's just there growling.
My second action
Everyone's loving their acid.
is going to
Acid
be.
drip.
My second action is going to be to tell my Velociraptor to attack it,
Yep.
Bitey, kill.
pretty much. And my third is going to. I'm not going to be getting up to move out of the way. I'm just going to be moving out of the way.
Okay. It is 2 to cast that one because it's got somatic and verbal casting. So it is 2
okay.
actions to have done that. You can use your other one to order the Velociraptor.
Yeah,
to
then I'll
attack.
use my third to order the Velociraptor. So now, Bitey's
A
turn.
lot of spells are 2 actions standard.
Mm-hmm. No, I know. That's why I got them all marked down specifically.
So,
Bitey was hiding in the shadows next to me,
mhm.
and now bitch is going to pounce.
Yep. So that will
So-
be against its touch for this attack.
Cool. Okay, that's a natural 20 for a 27 on its jaw attack.
Yep, that's critical.
Just
So,
number 1.
what do I do for critical? Because you didn't write down critical damage.
Double the dice.
Okay, so 48.
Holy crap.
4th level, mate.
$27 points of damage on the jaw attack.
Okay, so out of the shadows, this Velociraptor just pounces with that almighty screech that they make, and it starts goring into its neck and takes it down in one go.
Woo!
Is that the
One bite.
Is that the big one?
That's the big boy.
Mm.
One bite.
Big boy did. That is why he's called Bitey. He bites shit to death.
One bite.
That's fine. So that constitutes its movement.
Oh, he's loving him because he also bites people that he loves.
And then Garrick.
Hooray! Okay, so obviously at this point, the entanglement, will end
Okay.
because obviously it's one round only.
Okay. So as the thing comes down, the vines sort of recede again, and it haphazardly lands back on its paws.
Is he still in danger?
He's still in melee combat range with one.
He's not being dragged off, but the wolf is, I believe.
He is also stood up again.
Yeah,
I
it's
believe
like,
the
oh,
wolf
okay.
is still being dragged off. So that's the one you'd, help.
Well, I mean, goblins do hate dogs, so.
Yeah, even though I'm small,
prone
you're
to
still
resentment
you're still having a bit of an issue. So I was gonna do an acid splash, but no, I'm gonna be different. I'm gonna do telekinetic projectile.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Okay.
look at you being
I'm the
all
one that's on
fancy.
him.
On the one that's on him.
Yeah.
Okay. So not the one that's in front of you.
No.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I've got a plan for that.
Okay.
Because this is going to take 2 of my actions.
Yep. Fine.
So range touch attack.
Okay.
So that is 22.
That'll hit. Won't be a crit, but it'll hit.
Yeah. Annoyingly, there isn't actually anything stating anything special on a crit for this one, but just
It's
flat
not a
1d,
crit either way.
1d damage. 1d10 damage.
Ooh.
Max damage, 10 damage.
Very nice.
So, as far as I'm aware, this spell works where basically you end up like picking up like a small stone, or something around the surroundings and just launch it.
But yeah, so you're...
Did you just earthbend, motherfucker?
Yes, I did.
no, it was telekinesis.
So he starts sort of waving his hand a little bit and saying a couple of words, and a rock just comes up from the floor, and he flicks his hand forward, and this rock just hits it in the side of the head with a very loud cracking sound, and it sort of whimpers and then looks at you.
Yes, like, get better quick!
Okay.
And with my last remaining action, because it is a one-action spell, shield.
Okay.
Basically the one that produces like a little, what's the word, like magical shield in front of you. Only it works like the physical shields, only magical, and only lasts until. Wait a minute, where's it gone? Lost it. Until my next turn.
Okay.
So it works like a shield. It's just magical. I have got the stats for it.
It's a wibble shield.
It's a wibble shield.
After flicking forwards this rock with your hand, you then do some more gestures and a few more words, and a shield appears in front of you, made out of magical energies, somewhat translucent in nature. That's the end of the round. Just left off. We just had a round of combat. Garrick had just flung a stone and brought up a shield.
Yes, I did.
There are currently 3 smaller hyenas left. And Johann's turn.
Wait, didn't he kill one?
No, it's still alive.
Right,
He hit it really hard.
let's get to a stabbing.
Come on.
Okay.
Stab him isn't here.
Roll to-
Yeah, no, that was in the last one.
Yay!
There you go. I transferred some luck.
So that's 26.
26. That would be a crit.
Nice.
Woo!
Okay,
Ooh.
so with deadly, that means I add a D8 to it. Does it
Yep,
not?
so you get your d6 and your d8, as well as you add your
Dex.
to damage as a
8.
8. Okay.
And let's do that again.
Yep.
Exactly like that.
So, this attack is at
Not so
minus
much.
5 for multi-attack.
Okay, so that will be 13.
13. 13 will miss, unfortunately.
Damn. Oh, got one
And
good
you've
hit.
got one more action left.
That'll be at minus.
Now I've got a feat,
Minus 10 at that
nimble
point.
dodge.
Um,
At what point do I use that?
I believe that is if something makes an attack against you as a rogue.
Is it rouge?
Within rogue. Nimble dodge. You can, as a reaction, if you are attacked, you can make a nimble dodge to add +2 to your AC.
Okay.
Specifically against the attack that you are attempting to nimbly dodge.
Yeah. Okay.
You do have one more action. There's a couple of things you can do with that. You can try to make a third attack. This one will be at minus 10.
Yeah, it's unlikely.
But say if you don't want to do anything with that last action, then you can wait.
No, I'll move away from my target.
Okay. So you can step up to, I believe, 20 feet with your movement with the minus 5 for the terrain.
Yeah, I'll move away from the target.
Sure. So you step back. You step back 20 foot. It is growling in your direction after you've jabbed. So now you've got the hyenas. So the one that was attempting to drag off your wolf is the one that he's just stabbed in the side. Yeah. So
Yep.
it is going to move and attempts to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
Does a 14 beat your AC?
No, my AC is 17. Oh,
No, down here.
oh, down there. 19.
Okay, so the first attack misses as you move out of the way of its snapping jaws.
Aha!
And the second attack is a 12, so that will not hit either. So it lunges forward a couple of times, attempting to bite you, but you move out of the way each time as it's growling at you. That is that one's going.
Woo!
Okay, so the one that you just hit in the side of the head with a rock is going to move and attempts to grab you
Oh no.
or attack you.
So it's ignored you. Hey.
So now you have 2 on you.
Oh yeah, because you aggroed it.
15 to hit you.
Yeah, okay, now... No,
Shield's plus 4 AC, isn't it?
no, it's only a +1, but because when I was reading the rules it stated I could use it like a shield, so because it's automatically readied, does that mean I can still use it to basically block the attack? Because it does have hardness.
If it functions exactly like a normal shield, then yes, because the block reaction is from having a shield.
Yeah. So yes, I will do that.
Okay.
And then it does damage to the shield, I believe.
I believe so, yeah. Give me uno momento.
So that's why it's given me the hardness ratings for it. It's so hard.
It's not as funny when you say it.
No.
Oh.
Shield block, 3 on 9. Because it should tell us what it is. Snap shield, back to blow, shield takes. Does it say what type of shield it is? Or counts as?
No, I didn't write that bit down.
Useless.
I've been sure to write down the other important stuff.
But you missed some important stuff. Rude.
Yeah.
Shield has hardness 4.
Yeah. Just so because it said hardness 4.
Okay, so the shield has hardness 4. Shield prevents you from taking amount of damage up to its hardness. Shield takes the damage instead, becoming dented or broken.
So if it does more than 4 damage, it will
8
take
damage.
4.
8 damage.
So you take
8
4
piercing damage.
and your shield disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo!
Cool. But you are also knocked down. So you are knocked prone automatically.
Damn it. Still, less damage.
And then it's going to attempt to grab you.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smeg!
Another 4 points of piercing damage, and it drags you 10 feet back.
Worst.
Apologies, the multi-attack actually would have made that 19, but I'm assuming that still hit.
Yes.
That one, however, it's going to be a -1.
What,
Wait.
to hit?
Yeah.
-1.
Yeah.
Well, that's a crit fail.
Yep, that's definitely a crit fail.
Because I rolled a 2. Multi-attack minuses, however. Okay, so this time it attempts to, and it trips over you as it overcompensates and falls prone the other side of you.
Down.
Yeah. Well done, that puppy. Last one is going to move up to where you've been dragged to.
Oh god.
And attack you.
Yep.
Circle biting.
10.
Okay. No.
Better. 15.
Yes.
Is that more of a circle bite? Is that more of a feeding frenzy?
Yes.
Attempt
I'm
to
not
be
wearing armour.
Oh.
And 7 points of piercing.
Ow.
And you're dragged another 10 feet away.
Oh, sorry. What? Yeah, so as I'm being dragged off, I'm just like, why did I help the goblin? This goblin's got to stick together.
And speaking of, boom, it's your turn.
I'm going to try stab the. I'm going to move up and try and stab the already damaged one.
They are both already damaged.
The one that's really smacked.
Do you have is it medicine?
Oh.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Medicine.
Do you have medicine to check that?
Oh, I'm going to go for the one that got hit in the head with the rock.
Okay. Go for it.
Yeah, it's probably a safe bet.
Smeg. Nope, that doesn't hit.
How?
I need
7.
to know numbers.
Yeah, I was going to get there. Don't rush.
Yep. So that one misses.
Okay, time to fail again.
Hooray!
So that's a 17 to hit.
Does that include -5?
Yep.
Yep, that hits.
Woohoo! Actually, Smeggy hit something. D6. I'm actually pulled out any damage related because I haven't fucking needed them yet.
Hooray! Do the damage.
Do the damage.
Well, 2 points of damage.
No strength. Or do you not have strength?
I do not have strength.
Oh,
And
okay.
I don't think Dog Slicer gives me dex damage, so yeah, 2.
Okay. You launch forward the first time and miss, then you slash at it and just catch its side as it's moving around. Gives a little yelp as you catch it. Eletha, it is your turn.
Okay. I'm still going to try and hit the same one.
The
with
big
my
one
whip.
is dead.
No, the one that was hitting my wolf.
Okay, that one has now moved to try and attack him, just so you know.
Okay. Do we get flanking anymore?
You would need to move, but
Okay.
you can move to get flanking.
Okay.
Would you get anything for like being engaged by 2 opponents?
That would be the
That
flanking.
is flanking. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So I'll move.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so you move behind it so that you and him are
Flanking.
either side of it.
Okay.
So that gives you +2, I believe,
Yep.
on your
Flanking
attack.
is still 2. Yeah, I thought it was. Okay. 15 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Unexpected results.
4 damage.
Okay. Nice. Okay, yeah.
And then I'm going to command my wolf to me safely.
Get
I don't want it to go through cross lines of enemies.
No, that's
towards me.
fine. So it uses one of its actions to physically stand up because it
Yeah.
was prone, and then it uses its other action as you move, and it moves over to your side.
Okay. Lovely.
That is your turn.
Yep.
Kiara.
I just keep thinking Kiora.
Everything's going
Oh,
to shit.
But yeah, so as they did say before, you can use spells
Oh,
to
no, you
aid
should
your
get-
allies.
I don't have any spells that I can use to aid my allies. I
No.
checked it earlier.
That's fine.
Random
Um,
orange drink.
But yeah, aiding your allies
I
won't
remember it.
count as attacking.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's too orangey for crows.
I'm going to do a medicine check to see how badly people are.
Okay.
So that was a 21.
I'm I'm about at 60% health.
Yeah, a rough percentage from everyone.
Moderate.
I'm on 100% and my wolf is on, is it percentage, should you say?
Rough percent, yeah.
12%.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm on
Might have
100%.
messed up. But okay.
So, does that count as one of my actions? Checking people.
I will say yes, because you are actively having to look at everybody.
Okay, so I'm going to move
Scan
up
complete.
to the animal.
Yep.
And then I'm going to cast Heal Animal,
Okay.
which
'Cause that uses spell points rather than spell
Yep,
slots, doesn't it?
comes out of my spell points.
Yep, so for reference for people, abilities, some of the abilities and spells aren't actually done with your usual spell slots. They come under a specific resource which is unique to different classes, which is spell points, which they can use certain numbers of to trigger certain abilities or spell-like abilities.
And due to my background, because I'm all about animals and things like that, I get the Heal Animal ability, which does more healing, but only works on animals. So, heal the Wolfie for a grand total of 16 points back.
Okay, so your wolf gets 16 back.
Right, that's overflows. My wolf only has 14 hit points. Thank you very much.
It's fine.
Nice.
The wolf is a happy boy.
Is that one or two actions for that one?
For that, it's I believe it's one. I will have to double check.
Okay.
But either way, I've used up all mine.
Tiny happy wolfie.
It's a wolf, it's not very fucking tiny.
Yeah, also very big.
She's a young baby wolf.
Yeah, she's not like, dire wolf.
It's like dog size.
It's like a normal wolf,
But
but
Soon.
Are we talking husky size?
Yeah.
heal animal will be under spells.
Even when she's dying.
it's also under the class.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Doggies are always
That's what I'm
puppers.
mentioning the class.
Oh, I saw.
So
I got.
Dogs are always puppers.
my turn to take a while.
I got to meet some. I got to meet some Newfoundlands when I was away. Oh, they're amazing. They're like small bears.
Yeah, they are.
Mm,
But they must must be lovely to pat and cuddle.
There are 2 books
I don't know.
around. I
Can I
don't know where the
just
second
about get
one
my
is.
arm
Yeah,
around
that's
that
why I
one?
was confused. So I just need to check something.
Yep, so just checking a few things to make sure we have no more actions to go
Bye.
on.
Yeah, basically I'm checking, the exact rules for a certain spell.
Well, that's good because you'll be up after Kiara.
Exactly.
So-
And obviously the good thing about a spellcaster is to make sure you know what you're doing, to make sure it goes smoothly and quickly.
Because with the 3 action economy now, it's good to know what's
It's
what.
only 1. It's 2 if I decide to do it at range.
2 at range. Okay,
Yeah.
and you've done that as a touch because you moved.
Yeah.
So you do have 1 more action.
No, I don't.
You know.
Heal. You said that I was
Oh,
checking how
sorry,
hurt people
yes.
were counted as 1.
my bad. Apparently, I am just.
Yes.
Cassius, that's Merlin's job.
So Kiara casts a discerning eye around at everyone, appears to make a judgment, steps over to the wolf and places her hand on it, and the wolf's wounds close up. And Garrick. It's your turn.
Yeah,
Is
but Merlin's not got a good track record of doing that. I've seen him play numerous casters and you still have to check what every spell he does.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Louis
there's
Man says
not a lot to remember.
always know what you're doing, so always remember to remember the things that are important.
Yeah.
You can easily remember all.
In original Pathfinder, we tend to be a bit more. That's what I do. That's what I do. That's what this person does.
Because
With this
we
one,
This is new.
Shit, what's
It's
going
different!
on?
We've still got the training wheels
I
on.
don't understand
Anyone
the
need a
rules. So, Garrick.
Cool. Right, now I know what I'm doing.
Are you being serious?
Yes, so I am being very serious. So I'm going to use a slightly heftier spell this time. Yes, I'm going to be using a level 1 spell this time.
Ooh.
Two actions.
Okay.
So I'm going to stay on the floor
And do the dinosaur?
because it's going to be an action, and I'm going to cast Sleep centered on myself because I've got 2 walls next to me.
Okay.
So you're going to knock yourself out by knocking them out?
No.
Might do.
I don't think it affected the caster.
Well, that's part of the reason why I looked at it. It doesn't specify, so I'm going to assume because it
It
says
does.
it affects everyone in the area.
If
So
it
it
says
will affect
everyone-
you.
That's
Which-
poorly worded. I'm sure.
which-
I'm sure the implication would be it's normally not the caster.
I imagine that probably would be, however, because they don't specify and we're playtesting.
As written.
Yeah, that's one of the things we could turn around and go, will it affect the caster in
Yeah.
feedback? Which
Yeah.
is good to know.
So I don't need to make a roll. Well, actually, I do because I need to save against my own effect. But so the 2 walls beside beside me need to make saves.
Okay, what type of
will-
save is it?
will saves.
save. Okay, one of them is a 20.
That passes. So that one gets a -1 to perception.
-1 to perception.
Yeah.
Okay. The other one gets a 3.
Because that would fail.
So that's a crit fail.
Yep.
It's asleep for 1 hour.
Okay. Let me just put a little circle around that.
Doggy takes a long nap.
Yeah, 1 hour. Yeah, literally this form of sleep. It's not deep slumber. Deep slumber means they fall to the floor, they drop what they're holding. This one literally just kind of goes.
Brilliant.
So I don't know which one you would have picked for that one.
I've picked
We could still wake them up if we're.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I pass.
Okay.
You
so
do
you
not
don't
knock yourself out.
Yeah, I am
Jinx.
completely. I am.
Touching
Actually, wait a minute. Oh yes, actually, yeah, I'm fine. Completely unaffected. Not even a minus to the perception.
Okay, and you have 1 more action.
Cool. I'm gonna get up.
Stand up. Okay, so
Get
he
up, stand
says a couple of words, waves his hands around a little bit.
You're more good
Something seems to happen, and one of the 2 hyenas falls over, snoring loudly. Yeah, pause going a little bit. Johan,
Right. Is there any a lot? Is there any? How many alive hyenas are
there
nearly?
is the one still in front of you that you and Aletha are currently flanking. You're either side of.
Right. Let's get in then.
Okay. Roll to face stab.
So that's 14.
That will miss, unfortunately.
Damn. Okay, let's try that again.
Okay, so
Minus 5.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. 9.
no, watch that miss as well. You do have
Charge your
one more
stolen
action.
phone before the stream.
Try
Sorry,
once
it's been on
more.
this.
So the
you
minus
know,
is
per
minus 10 for
basket.
this one, but you could roll really high.
So
No.
that drains battery pretty fast.
I get 5.
Why have you got it on
5.
chat only?
Okay, that is a critical fail.
Damn.
So
I don't count
as
as
you
zero,
as you
otherwise.
dart forward for the last one, the hyena sort of bucks a little bit,
Yeah.
and as you're about to draw back, you loosen your grip a little bit, and it falls out of your hand.
Damn. Okay, I'm going to have to quick draw me a dagger next turn.
Next turn, yeah.
You're right.
Quick draw, I believe, counts as a free action,
Okay,
or
well-
a bonus, or swift, or whatever it is.
Well, there'll be a dagger
So-
in my hand before you know it.
Yeah, so you do have time to
Because
quick
I've
draw
got-
that, but you don't have time to do anything else
Yeah,
with it.
I have got 10 daggers about my person.
What?
You can throw them.
I have
Oh,
10 daggers
right,
about
yeah.
my person!
Yeah,
Yay!
that's
Dagger
weapons
friends.
as well as melee. Okay, because you've just attempted to attack it, it's going to attempt to go for you. Does 20 hit you?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to use my feet to dodge it.
Nimble dodge. So that raises your AC by 2.
Yep.
So that puts your AC to 21.
21, yes.
Okay, so
But I can only do that once.
That was
per
the other
round,
reason.
yeah, per round. So
You
as
could
it
just turn
darts
on-
forward and attempts to
you
bite
could
you,
just turn off all
what
of them.
would have been a solid grab onto your knee, just move out of the way, and it's
Tears my hose.
Whereabouts is it?
it's your
It
hose.
tears your hose.
Yeah, so it whiffs just past you. It is going to attempt one more on you, which is an 17. Sorry.
Miss.
And then as it's turning around, it's going to aim one last one at you.
Oh, so
That's
actually good.
6.
So
No.
only on 7%,
What's
so-
attack?
Would that be a crit
Is
fail?
that touch AC? Is that, oh, so it's flat-footed, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, yeah. Would that be considered a critical fail against you with a 6?
My AC is 21.
So it would be a critical fail.
Oh.
So as it attempts to go for you, you let it brush past the side and twist in such a way that the hyena misses the movement and falls prone.
Haha.
With that, it is Boom's turn.
Judo flip.
Fuck it up.
Haven't you got like some sort of nasty chemical on a stick?
Okay, so what are you going for? Because there
How
is.
far away are you from the dogs?
I'm right next to him.
Yeah, he's next to both.
I'm a
Within-
stab.
One of them is asleep. The other one is still awake.
Okay. I know the term "let sleeping dogs lie," so I'm going to go for the one that's still awake.
Sure.
Seriously, what?
I blame you, 8.
Okay, so that misses.
Wait, never mind.
And you had to move up to this one
Yeah.
because it was dragging away originally.
And that's a 8 again.
Yeah, 8 will miss, unfortunately. So you attempt to swish it with your dagger and both of them miss.
Maybe.
I blame you.
Yeah, maybe it might negate it if you use one of my dice.
Leather, you currently have a prone hyena between you and.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, thank you.
will drop. I'll put my whip away. I have a +1 magic short sword.
Okay.
I'm a stabbing.
Okay. So the +1 counts for both to hit and damage.
Oh, okay, cool. Take it off. So I will take it off on my sword stats. So
Yeah, fine.
Oh.
12.
12 will miss.
I'm sad.
You can try
Wait, do I still have the flanking bonus?
You do.
14.
Still misses.
Oh.
Sorry.
Again.
Okay.
Damn it!
It's better.
I don't know. I have to take off the multi-attack.
5.
17.
17 will hit.
Hooray!
Fuck you!
Stab
Die!
it!
Hit it with magic.
Stab it!
So misjudging slightly with the first
Ah.
one, forgetting that it's a short sword, you just whiff above its body. Then with the second one, with the backswing, you compensate and catch it.
4 damage.
4 damage. Okay. With that, you on the backswing, you eviscerate its throat and it starts gargling and goes limp.
Yay!
Yay!
Murder, death,
I mean,
kill.
boo, boo.
I believe you have
boo.
one more action.
I did.
Could grab the other one.
Where is the other one?
She'd have to
next
move up to it
him,
to get to it.
about 25-30 feet away from you.
I can. It's a free action just to drop my weapon and quick draw my bow. I drop my weapon because it's a free action.
It is.
I quick drop my bow and shoot it.
Go for it. Are you going to attempt to attack the sleeping one or the awake one?
The awake one. I thought there
Okay.
was only sleep one left. But yeah.
No, there's because I've got two next to me. I've basically got one here,
Oh,
which is
oh,
awake,
oh,
and one
oh,
there.
oh. 26 to hit.
Yes, and that will be a crit.
Nice one.
What does that mean, by the way?
Double weapon damage dice.
I got a deadly. Was that the?
Oh, if you've got deadly, you roll
You add your
your
deadly.
basic weapon dice and you use your deadly dice as well
Other-
instead of the regular dice.
That's the other one.
So if you're D8, you add D10 dice
Okay.
as your crit damage.
16 damage.
Okay.
Plus
So you
Oh,
drop the
plus my
sword.
strength.
Dex, because if it's finesse, it's Dex.
Uh,
Oh no, wait, this is an add.
No,
Not
it's just
damage.
16.
Did you add the plus? Oh no, wait, never mind.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
No more pluses.
That's fine.
Dang it!
You should get no
Regardless,
It's
so
megged.
after slashing across the throat of that hyena, in one fluid motion, you drop the
Short sword.
the short sword, and you grab an arrow as you flick the bow out with your other hand and fire that arrow, and it catches that hyena in the side of the head, and that one is dead before it hits the ground.
He's shot in the head. He's definitely dead.
Wish.
Okay. You are effectively out of initiative because that one is asleep and helpless.
Hang on. I have just.
Good.
So, by the way, so one of the other things I have is I have a returning clasp, right? So I can take my bow and throw it up in the air as I stab, and then I go like that, and wherever it is, it appears back in my hand.
Nice.
Hawkeye meets Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Captain America.
Hey, this is a boomerang.
I could have grabbed a sleeping puppy.
Yeah, that's fine. So
Right,
you wander
As
over
he's
to it.
doing that, I turn away.
I'll retrieve
away.
my rapier.
But yeah, you come over and you stab it straight into the throat and drag it down, effectively eviscerating its throat. And as the point it would wake up, it shudders violently and goes limp again.
To your right is a wolf looking at you, and then looking at the hyena, and then looking at you.
So you gonna eat
You
that?
can do whatever you want. You want to that. I don't care. I understand.
Hey, Lupa.
Food.
Oh look, take it.
He's like, Master, why did you not attack the thing in front of you?
Okay, so
Yeah, it's like,
I'm going.
it's like, well, I thought I was being nice. Yeah, well, you messed up.
And why were you in the combat, Bruce?
Yes, I was defending his body.
So which thing?
No,
Form.
because I can't see from under these flappy robes.
Should be attacking then.
5 minutes, yeah. Okay.
And then he leaves.
So, Kiara.
So there we go. I think
Kiara
you've run out
starts
of things to say.
performing, a rite of sorts. She starts almost singing in what's your preferred language?
It would be an Elven.
Elven. So she starts almost singing in Elven and doing
Well, it's a cross with.
fluid movements.
It will be both in Elven and Druidic.
So I can see all the sort of charms and fetishes on these things now.
Yeah. So looking at them,
At least
each one of the hyenas has an old ragged collar. There's a couple of brands on them now that you can look a bit closer. A couple of metal piercings, some leather thonging that's attached, some like bones and feathers to them.
whoever these belong to can't be far behind. We should get moving.
They belong to no
Yeah, great.
warriors.
Nah. It means that there are gnolls somewhere nearby.
It's too exposed here. Need some more cover.
Do we like gnolls? I can never remember.
No one
No.
likes gnolls.
Okay.
Gnolls don't like gnolls.
Okay. So after about sort of 10 minutes checking things over, making sure that you've got all your bits and pieces, your belongings, just quick patching up any little holes from the teeth or whatever. You start moving up the foothills. and the brush, brambles and trees have receded, replaced by a sandy flatland bordered by the winding tributaries of a river. The small river flows down from the slopes of Pale Mountain, cascading over a few small waterfalls. The widest fork of the river passes to the north of the sand flats, most of which are saturated with enough water to be packed hard.
So it's very hard ground.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. Like you're not going to sink. As you step into it, it's like being down on a solid beach where you still leave footprints and divots in the sand, but it's hard enough that you're not really sinking.
Slap.
So,
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay. So, from knowledge, I don't know if this is knowledge nature or knowledge survival. When we're looking at this land, is it prone to things like, could I spot things like, like quicksand or places where it might look fine to step, but then suddenly you're stuck in it, looking at Merlin. Just because out of all of us, for any of us to step into it, you would.
Yeah, and because I'm much lower to the ground, I'd drown
like
instantly.
when you're in ice, you can tell when it's thinner because it's bluer and stuff.
okay,
Like
so
I don't know if there's any.
I need to roll a perception check.
A perception, okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Come on, Ranga.
12.
You see sand?
Okay.
You're not really sure. You're not used to trying to discern the difference between quicksand and
Okay.
this type of sand, really.
I'm going to explain my theory out loud.
Okay.
In case.
Yeah,
But
fine.
I say I can't see anything that might be there. But in this kind of area, that might.
Keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
So if anyone is looking, they can make a perception check.
Yes.
Yeah, so Bruce, keep your eyes open.
Critical
Alright.
fail.
Critical fail.
9.
Seriously?
Okay.
Your dice did me even worse, buddy. Screw you.
23.
Okay.
Where's my perception?
This is all Merlin's fault.
I'm
This
switching
is all
dice.
your fault. Your table is. You've cursed the
12.
table with your
Yeah.
presence.
With his
And-
dice, I rolled a crit 1.
Yeah, 12, and for
Are you gonna be
Bruce,
Yes.
18.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Let's check, see what bite he sees. Probably better than some people.
I hate sand. It's causing gets everywhere.
21!
I'm all used to an urban environment.
So unfortunately,
I hate sand.
as
Causing it everywhere.
you and your Velociraptor are the only ones that see it, you're about to point it out as these two are so oblivious they step into it.
Oh.
Yeah,
My
it's like,
wolf
there
is-
is quicksand!
What?
As you two are already
Oh,
stepped into it.
With these two, not you.
Yeah,
Not him, you say
it's me. It's not me.
To be fair, I used his dice.
Ah, your fault.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought
No,
it might
he
help.
You chose to use it.
He threw his dice at me, hoping it would help. It didn't. You bastard.
Okay, so you step into it and you are pulled down into the quicksand.
Okay,
No!
I'm going to try and reach for my rope.
Oh, yes. Things.
Okay, so at the moment, if you're struggling to try and get things like rope because you can feel yourself being pulled, this could take some time. You can attempt athletics to attempt to move while you're in it. Each successive turn, so to speak, you'll be pulled further down into this stuff.
Okay, in that case, I'll.
I reach my hands out towards the others.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna just stay still and wait for someone to throw a rope to me.
Okay.
Aletha, grab my ankles as I fall flat on the floor right by the edge of the quicksand.
Yep. So you know where the edge of the quicksand is.
Yeah.
At this point, because they've disturbed the top and they're in it, you can actually see where the edges of this pit is.
Cool. And I'm going to try and grab you first because you'd be quicker to drown than he would.
And also I'm lighter.
That's fine.
Oh, that's fine.
So a strength of 19. Grab and start pulling.
Okay, so that would still come under athletics. So if you get any
athletics.
bonuses on top for it
Can
being
I use the
athletics.
same roll?
Yeah.
That's fine. So that will be
No.
24 instead then.
What?
Okay. So with the 24, you start. Who is it you're starting to pull out?
Me.
Boom.
Okay, so you start pulling
Because
Boom
he's
out.
shorter, he'll sink faster and
Yeah.
drown faster.
Him being smaller and lighter as well.
Buoyancy.
Because he'd only just gone in, you managed to pull him back up to his waist. Because they'd so horrifically failed the perception to see it, he'd gone in a bit deeper than you'd expected, and it's a little bit more.
Yeah.
So who's holding you? Sorry,
Me.
Leather.
you're holding you. Are you doing anything, or are you kind of just watching? Like,
I don't know what to do at this point.
okay. Burke, Johan,
Yes.
are you going to attempt to keep yourself up, or are you going to keep
Do we-
staying still?
Yeah,
Were you telling me to
yeah.
do
I'm going to put my arms,
Yeah, that's
put my arms, and just I want to try and spread, make myself as big as possible. And
Except for me.
Okay.
Stop. Yeah, make myself big. Just so I don't know whether that's going to be an athletics or an acrobatics or
Athletics.
10.
Okay, no. So you don't actually manage to get yourself up anymore, but you don't quite sink in anymore. But as you're still trying, and as they're pulling Boom out, you do sink further down,
Oh dear.
and you actually go up to your neck at this point.
Shit.
So
So
Yeah, so you
I
told-
say to you, grab Boom, seeing as I've pulled him out more. I'll grab Johan.
Not that strong, but okay.
Can I try with my other hand to try and grab Johan? So basically I solidified the grip with Boom, and then with the other hand try and grab Johan.
I'd say you can, but because you're splitting your focus, it'll be a -4 overall.
Yep, that's fine.
Alright, here I come.
If you are attempting to help, I will reduce your
I'm helping.
penalties if you succeed DC 15 athletics.
Pray to the dice gods.
Otherwise, it's not a
That's why.
Oh!
Okay, so with his natural 20,
Which is a 21, by the way.
so the gnome runs over and effectively helps brace your arm, and you don't get any minuses at all to your athletics.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So
it's
that
like,
will
okay,
be
not
a
that strong.
23
23. Okay.
You just lock.
to grab you.
Yeah.
So, because he's quite deep in, you're struggling a little bit there. You get pulled all the way out, and you can scramble up. Freedom! Johan, if you could roll me athletics, roll twice and take the higher result.
So that's a 18. Also 18.
Consistency!
So add that to your athletics.
No, we need to consider both
Yeah, that
options
is-
carefully.
That was
absolutely,
with
yeah,
the
sorry,
athletics.
Yeah. So with that, you manage to pull yourself back up, sort of semi-swimming, and you manage to pull yourself back up to waist height with the help of
Kiara.
Kiara. With the help of Kiara. At which point, with the quicksand still sucking down, go ahead and roll another athletics each. Again, if people want to attempt to help.
So that's a 23.
24.
Okay.
Looks like you probably won't need help.
Even if you critically failed that, it wouldn't matter.
Well, I'm
So-
gonna... 6.
Which you do. That reduces
That's
both
not
the-
critical fail.
Well, it reduces yours by 4, but that's not an issue because it's still above
trying to
the
help now.
18.
It'd be
It
20.
wasn't a critical
Stop
fail.
Oh yeah,
helping.
it was the critical fail because obviously it
You
was
tried to
15
help.
there, wasn't it?
That particular one was DC 15.
Oh.
Yeah, for this one, you try to help, I go, stop helping!
That particular one went back up to the standard DC
Making
of
things
18.
worse.
I'm guessing I made myself tired.
Yes. Either way, with you pulling his arm and helping him, and with him effectively swimming, trying to pull himself up, you manage to get him up past his waist, and you scramble back up to the side, covered in wet sand. You know, both of you are currently covered in wet sand. Somewhat uncomfortable.
So I put my And like this, I'm like,
My hose chafes me now.
I'm really glad that I pointed out that quicksand.
As he has scrambled up and he is just getting out of the quicksand, there is a large creature a little bit of ways of you burst out of the sand, making some kind of clicking sound.
Oh, it's a giant crab. Boomers!
Crab.
People, crab, people.
Looks like crab.
Tastes like people.
And with it making its
That's a scorpion.
At least it's not a
almost, almost scorpion-like clacking of its mandibles and its claws and such. I believe, given that it is 20 to 11, unless we want to run quite late in.
Yeah,
No,
well, we did.
That might be a good time to.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously we did start a little bit late, but
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
A mystery creature.
but I want to hurt the crab people.
No.
If anyone does want to roll me a nature check as the
Yes.
very last thing.
Oh, give it a go.
You critically fail. You think it's a puppy.
12.
That's clearly a fish.
23.
I think I got this. 18 plus.
It's the lesser known
You
spotted
think
fish.
you think it's a desert
21.
16.
fish. Okay, you think it's a desert fish. You're not sure, but you know it's insect-like. You think it might be similar to a scorpion, but there's too many
Something else.
differences. The three of you,
Yeah.
you're all aware that this is something called an ankeg, or known in these parts more locally as an ancrab. It's similar to an ant of sorts, but very large and dangerous and has.
So I'll literally just go. It looks like some kind of desert fish.
You're an idiot.
Desert fish.
Ant crab.
So yeah.
Tasty. If we can
So-
get it.
Actually, just out of curiosity, because it.
Massive apologies for the stop and starts of some of the rules there. I will make sure next time I'm more boned up
No.
on the rules for the individual creatures.
Giggly.
But yeah, so thank you very much, guys. Yeah, so sorry we started a little bit late, but it's just more, we just needed to double check and finish other little bits on our character sheets that we didn't actually do.
Admin.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. But again, this is partly down to certain bits of rules not laid out properly in the book. It is a playtest, so yeah, so don't worry about that. But yeah, so we will be continuing, with this next week. We'll see how far we get through it, because I don't think we've stormed through it quite like we did the first one.
Nope.
this one actually taken a bit longer.
Yeah, but
Admittedly, that fight was really scrappy. So
yeah, it was actually quite a bit of a battle. I was just like, this seems like a hard adventure.
Well, it's harder because we're higher level.
Yeah.
It's almost like these scale.
And we're one person down at the moment because
Yeah,
James
true.
isn't here at the moment. That's due to work.
I've taken into account. So as an interesting side, as standard, it caters for 4-player parties. We currently have a 5. As a 4-player party, you would have had 2 hyenas and the hyenodon.
Hyenodon.
With the extra player, there is an extra hyena, and if we'd have had James here as well, it would have been 4 hyenas, not
Nope.
3.
Glad he wasn't here.
He's more of a hitty character, right?
He's our fighter.
Oh, no wonder he struggled.
It is functionally for this particular one. It was functionally an extra hyena per extra character.
But yeah. So we'll obviously leave that there. But thank you very much, guys. Also, a big thank you, to was it Eins Allgone?
Eins Allgone.
Yeah, who donated 100 bits as well earlier,
thank you.
and also gave us a follow. So thank you very much for that.
Can't say better than that.
So see, I remember some things.
Very, very.
He remembers the important
occasionally.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So-
Want to keep it light and airy,
So also for for those of you still there, me and Cassus will be doing our playthrough of Mass Effect. We're on the final stretch.
We are. We were actually going to attempt to do a few bits and pieces with a few of the extra side quests.
But we can't now.
I totally forgot that we should have done it before, and then we realised we're in the home stretch, and then we got to a certain point and went,
You
oh
burnt
shit,
your bridges
one of
now.
those.
Yeah, it's just like, we can't go do these bits.
Surprise.
Oh well.
That person, good choices.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, so thanks again, and hopefully we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye for now.